Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second week of Spooky Month with Film Seizure. I'm Jeff Arbuckle. With me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Justin Morliver.
Nope. The William Shatner delivery had kind of thrown me a little bit here.
Well,
yeah,
you know.
very.
What have you done with Jeff's mind?
with long pauses.
No.
Hey, I'm Jason Oliver. I'm here too.
And Chuck Moore.
Hi.
And a very
We have a very special guest
special
here
guest.
to talk about a Stephen King, the first Stephen King novel, the first Stephen King movie. Correct? On both?
I think.
Yes,
to the novel.
Okay. So,
Yes.
well, there we go. With us this time, Kelsey Hilton. How's it going, Kelsey?
Hello to the 7 listeners.
Damn. Coming out
Podcast.
swinging.
That's some fucking shade, man. Holy shit! It's going to be
7D.
that kind of episode. We're gonna be at each other's throats again.
Nah. Wait, when were we last at Dick
Oh.
Tracy?
Yeah, probably. We've
Shit show.
a little bit of behind the curtain. We got a little bit of that coming up, I think, later this month. But
No. Not
no,
really.
it's not too bad.
really. No.
All right.
So anyway, last week we talked about David Cronenberg's The Brood.
It was a good episode.
Says the guy who had
Better
all
than
the
this
smart
one.
It was a good episode.
shit. They're all going to laugh at us.
They're all gonna laugh at you. I quite like that episode. That is one of those episodes where I felt like we did a good job.
Do you feel like Kelsey should listen to that episode?
She's not going to.
I have never listened to a single episode, and I won't listen to this one.
It's all right. I don't listen to our episodes either.
Do you
He's
do
like-
any editing?
A little.
I'm sorry, gentle listener.
Gentle listener.
And by a little, I mean none.
constant listener.
They
We have
are
a few of those.
constant
Yeah.
listeners.
Yes.
So anyway, Stephen King's The Carrie by way of Brian DePalma
Yeah.
is what we have here.
Our third DePalma on the podcast.
Yes. What were the other two?
Phantom of the Paradise.
Yes.
That was an early one.
Yes.
And then somewhat sort of recently we did The Untouchables.
Yes, earlier this year.
Yeah.
9 months ago.
Yeah. So this is kind of smack dab in the middle. Well, not smack dab in the middle. This came only a couple years after Phantom of the Paradise.
That is correct.
And this movie, I would argue, is probably the one that kind of put De Palma on the map. It made good money. It was a hit.
Yeah.
It was made for about $2 million. Made about 40.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oscar buzz.
Lots of Oscar buzz around it. Yeah. It was well regarded by most critics as well. There were a few naysayers. I think that pesky Gene Siskel didn't like it too much.
Of course he didn't. He's a turd.
But Pauline Kael liked it, and several others. Yeah, it was pretty well regarded.
Yeah.
Nice.
So now a year, this is a year in waiting to do this episode. A year ago, we did Stephen King month.
Yeah, that's right. This is a good story.
Yeah. And so we said, hey, Blake and Amber Brown, come on to our show and let's talk about a Stephen King movie, thinking that they're going to pick Carrie.
And we'd all kind of like done auteur picks too.
Yeah,
because
we did
had
David
Cronenberg, we had John Carpenter,
and we had Toby Hooper.
Toby Hooper. Yeah.
And they said, we want to watch 1408. We're like, what the fuck is 1408?
Yeah.
That was actually fun, though.
It was a good episode.
But
It was a good movie.
And it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's 1,408 did fine.
1,408. Yeah.
But I wanted to watch Carrie.
We all did. We were really needling them. We were just like, you're going to pick
You're
Carrie,
gonna
right?
pick Carrie,
You're going to
right?
pick Carrie, right?
How
And they
many
didn't.
bushes are in 1,400?
I don't think
0.
any.
Oh.
Yeah.
Only the ones at the graveyard at the end.
Yeah.
So no bushes.
No,
That's
no,
not
no
0.
bushes.
Oh, you mean topiary? Okay, real bushes.
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
Not dead bushes.
Gotcha.
Ooh. Ooh. But yes.
But that was in The Shining.
But we
Was the
wanted
dead
to.
bush.
We wanted to do Carrie,
Yes.
and we were very disappointed that we didn't get to. So
We were
We
rather
s-
upset.
we slotted it in for next. It was the first one we decided, I think, unanimously for this year. Yeah.
And it wins. And it's like, I've got the perfect person to bring onto the show. Somebody who knows her Stephen King.
Someone
Indeed.
who has a very nice bush.
Ooh.
Would have fit right into the opening scene of this
Interesting.
movie.
I didn't know your hygienic practices. Interesting.
Huge bushes. I'm deeply uncomfortable, and that's why I'm talking about bushes. And I'm trying to get to that first scene, you know?
Right.
How long do you guys piddle paddle on here?
First you got to tell us about your relationship with Stephen King. How long have you been reading him? What?
Why are you on this episode? Like, what makes you our guest?
I don't know why you invite me anywhere. But
I don't either, but there's got to be a reason, right?
I started reading Stephen King when I started reading, like, chapter books. Because I had a very traumatic upbringing. My parents got divorced. So anyway,
Hilarious.
That is so funny. You know, it's one of those. And
Carrie White's parents got divorced.
Yeah, they sure
I don't
did.
think they. Do you think they even got divorced?
I don't think
Jude
so.
just
I
left.
think Carrie White's mom thinks the devil took him.
I don't even think they were legally married. You know.
Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Yep.
He had Roadhouse whiskey. I know that.
That's right.
Man after my own interest.
She liked it. She liked it. I liked it.
Okay, so
And
back to you,
that's how
Kelsey.
Chuck says it too. When it's like, "Hey, you want some Roadhouse whiskey?"
Roadside Roadhouse. Let's talk
Roadside
about
whiskey.
Roadhouse.
So back to me. My first job was at Texas Roadhouse
Okay.
when I was.
Oh, there we go.
16. So another way I relate to Carrie, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big Stephen King
This
fan.
is my first opportunity to talk about David Lynch, but I'm going to let it slide.
Why?
I think
Is that a
Kelsey
movie?
needs rescued.
Yeah, I don't like talking about myself. I thought we were here to talk about Carrie.
Well,
Thank you for inviting me
let's-
to be here. I'm gonna
Wait,
leave now.
Did you just read the novel again?
Yeah, I
for
read it a
this?
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay, so that's important. I mean, I like that. We bring a guest on sometimes, and they bring a little extra research. We brought Travis on for Logan's Run. He read Logan's Run
He sure did.
for the episode, and he was able to give us kind of that
He
comparison.
even gave an entire synopsis of a different book at one point.
He
Yes,
sure
he
did.
Yeah, I bet he had a lot to
And
say.
Chuck was like, "What are we talking about?"
It was kind of amazing.
It was awesome because we were all like glazed over, and then Chuck was like, "Wait, what? What are we talking?"
Yeah, usually it's Jeff and Chuck looking at me, but we all got to experience that in that episode. Yeah.
So we're going to be looking for you to carry like 30 minutes.
Carry some Carrie.
Carry 30 minutes of this episode later. So
Okay,
get
well,
ready
the book
for that.
starts
Much
With
like the
Bush?
movie.
on page number 1.
Oh.
It does actually start a lot like the movie, but the biggest thing that bothered me about the movie is the Sue stuff, because in the book, she has like a whole plot line.
Yeah.
You know, like we're hearing from Sue, we're hearing about how she feels and what she's thinking and all of that stuff, and
Yeah.
that's completely missing. And I think Jason has stuff to say about Sue later.
Like why they maybe left this stuff out.
It's been a long time since I've read Carrie, but I do a lot. It just shit just doesn't translate, right?
Yeah.
Like
Would you say
I
that's
know-
a common problem with Stephen King?
Yes.
1000%.
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
here's a great example, and we're skipping all the way to the end. But I know from the book that Carrie kills her mom by like stopping her heart, and it's very very explicitly written. You can't fucking shoot that. That's not movie.
And it's very
quality.
drawn out. But
Yeah.
Carrie's like talking to her while she does it.
Mhm.
She's saying like what she's doing inside of her, and
Yeah.
And also during the prom scene, you're hearing a lot of what Carrie is actually thinking, like
Yeah.
with the fire hose, like why she starts with the fire hose, and
And wasn't it kind of told like Rashomon style in the book too,
who's Rashomon?
where it's like people after the fact
Should I know this
telling
guy?
the tale.
The survivors. The
Yes,
survivors
you're
are-
actually reading books about telekinesis.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of background on like Carrie the very first time, like the rocks that fall in the house.
Yeah.
That happened when she was like 3 years old. And
It's
the dirty
interesting.
pillow talk was actually from like her neighbor was laying out next door, like all naked with her tits out. Titties.
So all right.
And-
So this is interesting, and this is kind of one of the first big thematic points I want to talk about with this movie.
Titties?
Dirty pillows.
Is dirty pillows. is the fact that her powers don't present themselves until she starts to menstruate.
Right,
this
in the movie, yeah.
Right. And that is kind of like one of those kind of horror themes that I think this movie sort of started, where it takes the adolescence, right, and turns it into allegorical horror. You have movies like Ginger Snaps contemporarily, Julia Ducournau's Raw, right, where these movies where the female body is coming
terrifying.
of age. It's coming of age.
It's coming into power.
And coming into power, right? And then there's all these forces that are at play that come with that are uncontrollable and difficult to understand.
For a
right?
man.
I believe also before this was when Witches of Eastwick was written, and I think there's some stuff of that. Yeah, Eastwick? I think there's stuff about that too in it, where the women gain their freedom, and it creates
not in the movie, but maybe in the novel. Yeah.
There's more of it in the novel, right?
But I can't think of an earlier example in cinema that equates female adolescence and coming of age with horror.
No, but it may actually be like a natural progression from The Exorcist.
Could be.
Too.
Yeah,
where
that's another thing too, just with poltergeist, like, whatever, stories, like it's usually around puberty.
Yeah.
Especially younger girls. Like it's usually happening around girls going through puberty.
Yeah.
So
that to me felt like a very deliberate choice in this movie. To have her powers be presented at the same time as
her womanhood.
Yeah.
I mean, the X-Men do it.
Yeah.
It's puberty.
Right.
It's all puberty, man.
But yes, that's the first scene, right? Our first scene, the scene that we will never see on the television edit.
Yeah, I wonder how they start this movie on TV.
The first scene is volleyball. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Second scene.
And then all of a sudden, the coach is whipping some girl in the face for something.
Man, that coach slaps everybody. I
is
fucking love
happy.
her. I love her.
She's
awesome.
He did. He was a big fan of her.
There is... So the movie starts with volleyball. Carrie White is obviously the black sheep in this class. She fucks up a volleyball.
Oh, it cowers from
Nancy.
The ball.
Nancy Allen tells her to eat shit in the most convincing way I've ever heard anyone deliver a line.
Nancy Allen is playing Chris.
Yes.
The mean girl.
Yeah.
And then it goes into this like slow-mo, soft focus girls' locker room shot.
And we see everything.
It wasn't soft at all.
This is never.
It wasn't.
There was
soft
nothing
at all.
soft about it. Maybe the dirty pillows.
Two thirds of this room was. Not
I read
all.
something about this
Kelsey,
and I would like your take. I would like the table's take on this. If you think this is bullshit, or if you think this is an artistic choice. But I read something by I think the editor said this about this scene, and he said it was a deliberate choice to do this scene with the graphic full frontal nudity to put the audience on edge, to tell the audience that this that this is a director
who was on edge.
No, you got to think about the time period. It's 1976, and it's not normally the way he said this. I'm just telling you the argument. You can agree or not disagree, or agree or disagree.
Agree or not disagree. Yeah. Those are your options.
But he said, but in a lot of films of this time period, the big like nude shot would happen way later in the film in one of the later reels.
Sure.
And to put it right up front and center over the under the opening credit sequence was going to be off-putting for the audience. It was going to be a little bit dangerous, and the idea was to put it in their minds that this is a director that can't be trusted, and that whatever's going to come next, you have no idea. You're right. Going. It's going to keep you guessing, right? I don't know. I mean, I wasn't see this movie in 1976. I didn't have a moviegoer sensibility in 1976. I wasn't born, but that was the artistic choice that I had heard. What do you guys think?
Don't titties and horror just go together? Like
yes.
What horror films were before this where there were not?
I mean, a lot of exploitation film would have done this, but.
Yeah, I mean, a mainstream studio film. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I was a little surprised. It's like, oh, okay, well, we're going to get all this right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, it is straight from the book, right? Like, that's one of the first scenes from the book as well, is they're all showering.
I think it's also important to note that Carrie wasn't a very successful novel.
No, well, who knew who this fucking Stephen King dude was?
So again, like this was a book that DePalma read. He picked it up in a bookshop, read it, loved it. So this will make a great movie, and tracked down the rights, right? But it wasn't a bestseller until after the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So DePalma made King. That's what you're telling me.
I mean, no,
I know. I'm joking.
but
No.
but kinda.
Yeah. I mean,
And
he
in
helped
a
him
way,
along.
he helped him along. Yeah.
Your choices there are no and not yes.
Yeah,
It's still surprising me because these are supposed to be 16-year-old girls, right?
17,
or
18.
They're high. They're
They're
I thought you
seniors.
said Carrie
They're
was
seniors.
16.
They're seniors.
I was wrong.
It's
Okay.
senior prom.
Okay, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Either way. You don't expect to see a bunch of nude high schoolers.
That's true.
Regardless.
That's very
Now,
true.
in the
So
80s,
even these days, it's
different
probably more off-putting than maybe it was in the 70s.
Yes, I think it's
Maybe.
far more off-putting here in 2021.
But yeah, I mean, I think Demi. Excuse me.
Well, I mean,
Did you
a
just
good
call me
example.
DePalma
would be-
makes a lot of choices to try to
Yeah.
put the audience off kilter throughout the entire movie, even the way it's shot, the decisions that are made
Totally.
in the film. It's just, constantly trying to put you like a step behind what's going on.
I think most of the time that I was feeling uncomfortable in this movie was the good old-fashioned Stephen King bully with Nancy Allen.
Mhm.
She is just a fucking monster.
Mhm.
The amount of times people get slapped
Yep.
and Piper Laurie.
Yep. I think that there's something menacing about the entire high school. It just, everything there feels wrong.
Kinda
Well,
like it
everywhere
deserves
that
to
Carrie
burn.
goes is wrong.
Even down to the school mascot is a bee, and they're the stingers, right? There's nothing cuddly or welcoming about that. Even their school mascot is menacing, right? It is just the whole way everything is designed in this movie, especially within that school. It makes you feel unwelcome.
Even the teachers.
Yep.
Like
The principal can't even
teachers
get
are
Carrie's
slapping
name right.
No, it's
Yeah.
Cassie. And you have the teacher who's making fun of Tommy's poem,
Yep.
which I think he knows is not Tommy's poem, and that's why he's kind of egging him on a little bit. But he's still kind of evil.
And then he's
In that
mean.
scene.
And then he's mean to Carrie.
Right. He makes
Yeah.
fun of Tommy through Carrie, which of course is making fun of Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There are lots of evil people.
High
like,
school sucks.
Literally everyone. Like those outside influences, impact Carrie greatly, obviously.
And there's no
Everyone
place,
she
and there's
comes in
no place
contact.
safe for Carrie.
No.
No.
She's not safe at school. She's not safe at home. And you want to identify with Carrie, and by default, you don't feel safe ever.
Right. Yeah.
Even when you feel like something good is happening to her, you know it's going to go bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
So she is in the shower, and what happens in the shower?
She gets the rag.
Is that what we
I
call
want to
it?
make an audio clip of that.
She gets the rag. That should be like an award.
It would be the award we get.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would get the rag for sure.
It's like, oh, you didn't even wash it.
Plug it up.
Well, that means we're about to get our
Plug
powers
it
then.
up.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to burn down the whole town.
So I will say that there were two things I read in my youth that taught me not everything I should know about
the
female
rag?
menstruation, about the rag. Yeah, but they are. It was the novel for Jaws and Carrie, the
Oh,
novel
wow.
Carrie. Those two things were like the first things that told me anything about like what menstruation was.
What part in Jaws was, Richard
The girl,
Dreyfuss?
book.
the girl
The
in the Peter Benchley's novel.
Peter
the
Benchley
girl that's in
very in detail describes that she's menstruating and bleeding, and that's why the shark attacks
the
her.
first girl.
I'm sorry,
The
didn't they
first girl.
teach you
very
anything in
beginning.
school?
I was
Or
little,
were you
man.
like abstinence only?
I was reading Stephen King when I was like 11.
You're talking to a
same.
homeschool kid, though, too.
You got
I wasn't
homeschooled?
homeschooled until I was like 15. I knew what menstruation was by then. believe me.
Lies. Gentle audience. Lies.
But I was
Chuck's like,
I was like in 4th grade when I read this book.
fair enough. Wow. Okay, well,
Wow. Gentle audience, he was 11 in the 4th grade.
What how old are you in 4th grade?
I don't know. 9,
10, 11?
All right, whatever. I don't know. I was around that age.
Yeah. I agree with Jason. On
I'm
this
just
thing.
making a comment here that
You know, that's a very
that I
alarming
learned
way.
that I learned about
It's a very alarming
menstruation
way.
from Jaws and Carrie. So
Fucking
there you
Carrie, that sucks.
go. Yep.
Aren't we the latchkey kids? We learned everything from books and movies. I mean, that's
Pretty
just
much.
what happened.
I mean, they
for
taught me
us.
about periods when I was like 10.
Well, you're not a latchkey kid.
Yeah, but you're also
No, in school,
woman.
my parents never told me anything about anything.
right. Fair.
I
But
had
they
3
did-
older brothers.
in Catholic grade school, they're not sitting you down and talking about
Okay,
your period
Catholic
in
school,
4th
that's
grade.
what I was fishing for.
So none of the
Right,
nuns
because the
explained it to you?
Catholics
No, they don't. have
and
periods.
Carrie's mom think that
Probably.
the Catholics and Carrie's mom and whatever she is she Protestant? I don't even know what
She's
the hell she
a
is.
No,
fucking
she's
Puritan.
some kind of crazy. Like in the book, they really describe how she broke from like a normal church. At
Was
some
it
point in time.
Catholicism though?
No, I don't think so.
No,
No,
it's
like
a Protestant.
she
I think
went
it is Protestant.
Totally
Yeah,
off
that's
the
my
rails, away from Protestant.
I mean,
obviously
she dresses
they
like a
believe-
Puritan.
They believe that the period comes from the devil. Not
Right.
It's not a natural thing to talk about. At least for this woman.
Well, it's
Sins
it's
of
like
the
the
woman.
original sin, right? It's
Yeah.
the sins of Eve. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's garbage.
Yeah, total garbage.
Boo on this movie.
No, yeah.
It's just funny to me that you can take the giver of life and turn it into that's the original sin.
Right.
Right.
The original
Well,
sin
when
is
when
life.
when you're not on the side of the people who write the things,
Uh huh.
you know,
Man.
you get blamed for everything.
Oh, there's still like tribal cultures who sequester women when they have menstruation. You know, in like
Honestly,
tents
it
and
doesn't
shit.
sound that bad. That sounds nice.
Like you get a little steam tent. And,
Go be by
get like your
myself.
feet massaged maybe or something.
Yeah, dude. Let me chill.
Big plate of
chill.
chocolate.
Like-
Just be alone.
Give
Don't
me-
fucking talk to me.
Just let me bleed by
Fuck alone.
myself.
Yes.
I'll plug it up when I'm good and ready. Thank you very much.
But there is that element of like you're unclean though. That's the reason.
God, and that's the whole reason Stephen King wrote this book is because he's afraid of periods.
Probably.
Do you think he's afraid of periods?
I mean, he wrote the book.
Well, that he could be making commentary.
I think he
certainly.
is, and I think that he's drawing on a little bit of that ancient fear, and also giving her power, right?
Well, wait. What?
Ultimately, she dies, which I don't know what that has to say about it, but
She punishes herself, right? I mean, she punishes herself because she sinned in her eyes. It's her upbringing.
That's
I think that's like
she's
Yeah.
unable to overcome her. You think she's going to. I can relate to this movie in so many
we
ways.
jumped
like,
all the way to the end of the film,
yeah. All
It's
right.
going to be a quick one.
Let's.
and we're done.
You're right.
Carrie
It's
dies.
a dense movie though. For a movie that kind of moves and doesn't
This
do
movie
a lot.
cooks. Like it's moving.
It is.
doesn't.
It is.
It's plowing
it is
to the
thematically
end.
dense.
Well, sure.
All right. So Carrie has her period. Everybody pelts her with tampons and pads.
Plug it up. Also, those pads, you guys, you have
Or
no idea
diapers.
how fucking big those are. They're like diapers.
They're like
feel
the
very
Depends I
bad
wear to
for
bed.
women before I turned.
What? I was joking.
Can you
Go ahead.
repeat that?
No.
I was speaking over
Nope, you'll have to listen to the episode to hear what I
you.
said.
I will not.
Carrie.
Well, they
Carrie,
didn't have the wings. That's for sure.
No, I think they had like straps. Like it looked
It's like they had belts.
yes.
You hook them to
They
the
used to
wall.
have
You
belts.
hook them to the
They're
wall
like
so
jock
they can't move.
straps.
They really
right?
did used to be like jock straps. Like pads used to be like jock
Oh
straps.
my gosh, that's crazy.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Like you would wear a belt, like, and then yeah.
Weird.
Man, menstruation's weird. Let's write books about it.
Yes, you know best.
Menstruation's come a long way.
Please tell me about it.
Well, it happens every full moon.
Yes.
You turn into a werewolf.
And that's why women have been sequestered. in
Exactly.
cultures.
We can't let
Werewolves
them eat the children.
Are scary.
Yeah.
Stay away. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, the teacher slaps her.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's like, hey, one side, ladies. I'll figure out what's going on. What's going on? Smack.
So, and Carrie doesn't know what's happening to her. I think that's
Well,
important.
yeah, she
here.
comes out of the shower and starts pawing at everybody.
So
It's
she's
what's
like
going
me
on?
in 4th grade reading Jaws. She's like, what the
Crying.
fuck is happening?
It's like
bloody
it
hands.
was like
person
me 3
bleeding?
days ago when I got a boner. I'm like, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
And, but she does something kind of funny. Like, she's hysterical. She becomes kind of like out of her mind, fearful because she starts like walking at people with her bloody hands.
And touching everybody.
And touching
screaming,
everybody.
She's screaming, "Help me!"
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I would like to help you, but let's not get.
Are
Your
you
bloody
scared of?
hands
Are
on
you
me?
scared of menstruation, Stephen King?
I'm not scared of menstruation. I just don't want other people's blood on me. Is that
Fair.
fair?
Therefore, you're
enough.
scared of menstruation.
I'm scared of other people's blood on me.
Agree or not disagree. Same thing.
Agree or not disagree. Anyway,
I don't know. I've never been covered in blood.
and she's
and thought
coming.
that I
She's
was
coming
hurt.
straight at people with like her
Yeah.
bloody hands.
Hell
Well, she
yeah.
has no social.
I
Like, she
know.
hasn't been taught anything socially. Her mother would rather her avoid everybody. Frankly, if it wasn't for this being a story where she had to be at school, she would be homeschooled.
Oh yeah, if this
she
Oh,
would
yeah.
never
Sure.
go to school.
was she?
Yeah.
She. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the remake very well with Chloe Moretz, but she should have been homeschooled in the remake.
Probably
She was not.
She wasn't though.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have made this. I could write a good Carrie remake. And
Oh,
make
do
her
it.
Where
homeschooled.
she's homeschooled
Yeah.
and she just kills her mom in
No,
the
I
end.
could do it. It would be good. It would be scathing satire. Kelsey.
Challenge. Challenge.
Right.
no one
in.
wants another Carrie remake, and I don't either. So fuck it.
Yeah, there's already been 3 and a sequel.
Right.
Wait, in the Rage, does she burn down the whole? Maybe they
Wait,
comes back
There's
around.
been 2 remakes and a
Yeah,
sequel. What's
there's
the
a
other
TV.
remake?
There was a TV remake. That was the one that Chuck and I were going to
Oh,
watch,
yeah.
and then throw you way off.
She
It's like,
Holy
remember when
shit.
Catherine Isabel did that thing?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Catherine Isabel played Carrie?
no, she
She
was
was
one
the
of the.
mean
She
girl.
was one of the mean girls.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I got to see that.
I think she made.
So anyway,
like the PJ Souls.
The teacher slaps her and then realizes that Carrie has no idea what a period even is.
And the lights burst. in
Yeah,
between
after
there.
she bursts the lights, all the girls leave. The teacher tries to help her. She brings her down to the principal, who cannot get her name right
But I just want to
because he
point
doesn't
out
give a
that
shit.
I just want to point out that Sue left that locker room with blood on her sweater and bare feet.
Yeah,
The nice girl was just like, okay, I gotta go.
I'd run.
She went, yeah, but she probably went to like history class with like somebody else's period blood on her and no shoes.
I mean,
Anyway,
She went to next
then-
period with a period on her.
Oh, he did it.
oh,
you
Then-
did the thing.
that's
I did.
next level.
I did the
Period.
thing. That's lots of periods.
Sorry. Then we go to the principal's office.
Who can't get her name right.
Period.
Keeps calling her
Cassie,
Cassie.
stop.
She has another moment of telekinesis where she
Flips the
she
ashtray.
flips the ashtray. Yep.
Because she
Yes.
corrects him a couple times, saying, "My name is Carrie.
name's
My
Carrie."
name is Carrie," and then she flips the ashtray.
Well, she only corrects him the last time. Like,
Well,
and
she
it's
mutters
very
it.
Time where
She
she's
forceful.
like
mutters it
Carrie.
under
She
her.
mutters at
Yeah.
him.
Yes. Yep.
Right, because it's like every time she asserts herself, shit goes bad.
Wonky.
Yeah. It's
Not bad.
Well, not
it's
bad, but
anger. It's rage. That
It's the rage.
it's the rage.
Carrie
It-
too.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. It's what brings it out of her. She can't control it. It's when she's getting angry that
That's what I call.
it manifests itself.
I'm gonna call
her
my
powers.
rag my rage
Yeah.
from now on.
Fits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fits.
It actually
It just
fits me
fits.
every day. So the next scene is the bike kid. The kid,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
who,
God, that
the kid who
asshole.
can't use the sidewalks,
No, he
and
just
He's
swoops
just
in between
figure-
trees.
figure-
like a-
those
figure
trees
eighting
were
trees.
very nice. Though I would love to live on that street. Those
Yeah.
big old trees.
It's
and,
there's some good topiary in
and
this movie.
stop.
It reminds me of old Northeast like streets. I don't
Like
know
New
where this
England?
movie like takes place. Yeah, New England.
I'm sure it's
type.
New England. Yeah, it takes place in Maine.
Yeah,
Reminds me
it
of the
makes
old
sense, right?
Northwestern.
Makes sense. What happened?
Side conversation. Don't worry about it.
You're not supposed to do that on a podcast.
I know, it's
I
terrible.
apologize,
They
They
gentle
do
listener.
too. It's like it's a thing.
I usually ignore Jeff when he leans over.
No, you don't.
we need. So I think we need to like edit in stereo so that we can have it in 2 channels sometimes.
So the poor listener in their ears, 2 different
Yeah.
ears, 2 different combos.
but you can turn one channel off and hear one conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't because we're not that dedicated.
We're low budget, man.
Yeah, we do this for the
for the kicks.
We call this DIY.
sure
Yeah.
yeah.
DIY. Do it yourself.
dirty.
dirty pillows.
Do it yourself. So yeah, the dumb kid who Carrie plays
He's
with
got
her
a
mind.
nice shirt on.
With her mind, she plays psycho music at the kid and he falls off his
ring,
bike.
ring. does. Yeah, Pinot Donaggio channels a little bit of Bernard Herrmann there.
What kind of wine is that?
And it's the
It's red
spooky
as
music
fuck.
wine. Is what it is.
It's
Yeah,
clearly
very
red.
It's a red wine.
It's got lots of red gels on it, and a little bit of split screen, a little bit of that,
Little bit of
that
bioptics.
double, the little double focus action. Yep, you get a little double focus if you drink too much.
Yep.
I do like that there is some subtlety here.
Yeah.
The kid just goes meh,
Mer-
over. He doesn't like get launched like off his bike. Like you would expect him to like if you hit a rock and you go launching off your bike. Everybody's done that, right?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, could explain some things, I guess. But anyway, the kid just falls over.
Yeah. He's forced over.
Right. And then he looks back like, "Oh, she did that
my
to me."
God.
Yeah.
Like
He
everybody
called her creepy Carrie. Fuck this kid.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
this
fuck
kid.
that kid
Yeah.
totally. Because it's like, who are you? You're some middle schooler.
Yeah,
who's
how does
playing
this
hooky.
11-year-old kid who just read
Exactly.
Jaws know who Carrie is?
Yeah, Jason,
Right?
how did you know?
I know. I read
Jason
it.
was a child on the bike.
I got it from the library and I read it.
But for real though, like, how does he even know
How
who
does he
Carrie is?
know
That's
anything
like
about
another
her?
indication that
Everyone
the town
knows that Carrie
itself
White
and
eats shit.
Yes.
Yeah. You got to get a sense that they're the black sheep of the town.
Well,
Well, yeah.
And that
Amy
comes out more in
Irving's
the
mom,
book, right?
I can't recall.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I mean, the next scene is her mom.
Is like going door to door, like evangelizing. Yeah.
Which is so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
That's why everyone knows who Carrie is.
She goes and she talks to Priscilla Pointer, right?
Yes.
Amy Irvin's mom, who
Yeah.
just got to throw a little trivia out there. Priscilla Pointer plays Amy Irvin's mom in this movie, and she is actually Amy Irvin's mom.
That's
Oh,
Sue.
Sue and her mom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sue, I think their last name is
Actual
Nell.
mother-daughter team. That'll show up in horror trivia. And it has.
I'm
not
and I've gotten it
playing.
wrong.
Which
and
is
I will
great
never get it
because-
wrong again.
Carrie's mom says these are godless times, and Amy Irving's mom is like, "I'll drink, to that."
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
and
it.
to which Kelsey took a drink, and we were like, yes.
Amy
Yes,
Irving was
agreed.
also married to Steven Spielberg for 4 years.
Weird.
And he did Jaws.
He did. Oh my God. It's a menstruation thing.
It's a menstruation cycle.
Hey,
Happens every month.
Anywho,
I'm leaving
doesn't?
again.
Anyway, so
You can only
so
leave once,
she goes
by the
over.
way.
Carrie's mother is played by Piper Laurie.
Right,
And her hair care regime is god awful.
My second opportunity to talk about David Lynch, but I will not.
Why?
well, go ahead, just do it. You know you want to. Do
I would
it.
just say that Piper Laurie played Catherine Martell in Twin Peaks. That's all.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, this is
That
also
is
her
her,
first
isn't it?
movie since The Hustler.
Yeah,
So back-to-back Oscar nominations, 15 years apart.
she's terrifyingly good in this movie.
Yeah, she's really
She's very
spooky.
good.
She's hiding behind doors later on. It's scary.
Yeah.
And I don't want her as my mom.
Nope.
Jeff, you were saying earlier about like shit that made you uncomfortable in this movie, and you didn't mention all the fucking religion.
Oh, yeah. No, I hate
That's
all that.
my number one thing
Yeah.
that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like,
all
it's
of that
definitely
was
not
terrible.
the naked bitches. It is
No.
this.
Well, we're getting to that. I mean, that's our first introduction to her.
Right.
Is her kind of introducing herself that way. Right?
Well, she
Yeah.
talks like a good old-fashioned, like, Salvation show preacher.
Because Carrie hasn't gotten home yet, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She's on her way home, and
Right.
this is where her mother
So we
is.
meet her mom as an actual outsider before we see her interact with Carrie. And that gets even creepier.
Yeah. So
One thing
first of all, well, one thing I do like is that Sue's mom is like, I'm going to make a donation. You know,
so
it's like,
you get the
Right.
fuck out.
You-
$5, $10.
$10. And Piper Laurie's like pissed about it. She's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fine, whatever. I hope you find Jesus. I'm, deuces.
Yeah.
And she's out of there. She's not happy. So she goes home. Carrie's upstairs after she's cleaned herself up.
Yeah.
And she's, what? What?
I'm making a face at Jeff because she didn't. I mean, she didn't look dirty or anything in the school. Like
No,
she's just
but-
at home.
Well, she just had a shower. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, but like, I think,
and then blood.
I think
everywhere.
I think it's at least indicated that she is maybe trying to hide what happened.
oh, she certainly
Oh,
is.
she's definitely not trying to like
well,
share
I don't
that
know
with
that
her
she's
mom.
trying to hide it, though, because she confronts her mom about it.
well, but
She's like, why
but-
didn't you tell me?
Yeah,
Well,
but that's
but
after her mom
gets the phone call.
Oh,
I wanna jump in here and just
you're
say
right. You're right. Yeah.
That in the book, Carrie's mom like does not just walk around evangelizing. Like her job is at like an industrial laundry or something. So she's like picking up huge bags of
Huh.
like wet laundry.
So she's like Jack.
She's very strong.
Ooh,
yes,
interesting.
and the abuse is therefore that much worse because
Gotcha.
she like is actually a very strong woman.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, and so she gets the phone call, and she's like, and Carrie's like kind of huddled at the top of
Yes.
the stairs.
What is she? Yes.
Yeah, yes, that's how she answers. Yes,
Yes.
yeah, and and then she's like, okay, yes, all right, bye, and then hangs up. And then she's like, I know you're sitting there, Carrie. You can come on down. And then she's like,
You're the next contestant.
you're on the next contestant of getting preached at hard.
Yeah.
Of getting hit with this
With a book.
Which who wrote this book? It just says
Harry
the
Pottered.
sins of woman.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
has
that's-
all these like religious pamphlets, which again I'm like, where the fuck did you get these? What sect are you?
No, she
'Cause
got
she's
them at Berean.
crazy.
Like
She knows
Chick
David
Tracts.
Koresh or something. Like,
She had a whole wallet of Chick Tracts.
Oh, God, you know she has chick tracks.
Totally.
what the fuck are those?
Those are
those little comics?
those little like flip comics that are like
That's
tiny,
like
Are
the
there
moral
titties
of the
in 'em?
story is that it's like you're going to hell.
more of stories are going to hell. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jason bought a shit ton of them at Wizard World
At Wizard
Chicago
World, yeah.
one year.
they're
Why?
kind of like a weird novelty collectible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can still get them. Jack Chick is dead now. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
He is a
You
bad
guys
person.
just thank God that a guy who peddled
he's a
God
shitbag.
is dead.
My God is better than his God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my God.
Oh, it's a different God?
Because my God doesn't actually exist. But
Yeah.
My God is the mighty Thor.
Your God
He's
is imaginary,
structured
just like the other
Yes,
one.
right.
That's exactly what we're getting
Okay.
at.
it's
Wait, did
my
we
God
come
is
here-
is a figment of speech.
We came here to talk about whatever we want.
Did we come here to talk about our higher powers? Because I
Yes.
have a lot to say. This one time I
Hey,
took
go for
acid.
Ooh, acid story. This might be the first on the show.
Nope, I'm stopping there.
Oh, okay.
That was
Well,
a joke.
acid happened,
Jeez.
and she got higher powers.
She found.
It's true though.
She found Jeebus.
You'll find Jeebus if you just take some acid, kids.
Well,
So Carrie's mom doesn't take so well to Carrie getting her period. Like
No.
she can fucking help it. And
You
Well,
can
she could have, in
actually
her
if you
mom's
try hard
eyes, she thought that she must have had sex
Yes,
in
the
order to
way-
bring the period on. Right?
Yeah.
So she did commit some kind of sin. Her mother believes
or
that.
that
for
she
some
even
reason.
like thought about boys or something. Like
Yes.
right, because the menstruation is to bring the boys.
First there's
To the
blood.
yard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
then there's marriage.
My menstruation. Yeah.
my
I'm not even gonna do it.
menstruation brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, "What's that I smell?"
We're a bunch of sniffing dogs.
This got weird.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
Kelsey's here. It got weird at the very beginning.
So she gets locked in a closet.
Can you open the episode with that song?
Yes.
I can.
She does. She gets locked, in, the closet.
and is told to pray. In the closet, she has a statue of Saint Sebastian
Yeah, explain
Who
this,
the
'cause
fuck?
Saint
with
Sebastian is
glowing eyes, and it's super creepy.
It is super.
I don't
creepy.
remember the full story of Saint Sebastian,
Oh, come
but
on.
Saint Sebastian was an early Christian martyr who I believe was tied to a tree and shot with arrows because he wouldn't renounce Jesus Christ by Roman soldiers. That could be like 70% correct. It's something like
Well,
that.
he's got arrows sticking out
It's
of
been a
him.
long time since I read my stories of the saints, but yes, he was shot with
Did
arrows.
you just know this? Like you didn't
Yeah.
look it up before the movie?
Yeah.
You just knew this?
Yeah.
Catholic boy?
Yeah.
Spelled BOI?
Now, see, I
Boy.
would have. I mean, I would have thought that it was like I don't know Bobby Abear in the 1987 New
No,
Orleans
I
Saints.
knew that was Saint Sebastian.
Okay.
And
Did that statue have real hair, or am I just like confusing it with Tommy's
maybe
hair?
I don't know. It was the statue.
It was a mess.
The one in the
statue
closet looked
Yeah.
plastic. to
was
me.
designed by production designer Jack Fisk.
Oh, I know who that is. Can I tell you?
Sure, who's Jack Fisk? Chuck?
He was married to Sissy Spacek.
He still is.
And married to Sissy Spacek, and he's the best friend. Yes. I'm so excited to tell this. You guys had no
Wait, at
idea.
the time-
I've been waiting
at the
months to
time-
tell this story. You guys just shut up. He is best friends with David Lynch.
Yes,
All
yes,
right,
yes.
Go
yes.
ahead, Jason.
For a
I'm
second
sorry.
there, you
They're
almost,
besties.
For a second there, you almost turned into John Travolta.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, man. Hey.
Friends with David Lynch.
Yeah, I love David Lynch. Yeah. That was terrible. That's the worst
That's pretty
Travolta
bad.
I've ever done.
He was better.
Yeah.
Jack Fisk and Sissy Spacek met on the set of Terrence Malick's Badlands.
Oh, so not Phantom of the Paradise.
No,
Yeah, here comes.
and they got
Terrence Malick.
married. They got married.
Was this
And
before
then,
this
yes,
film?
Jack Fisk
Yes.
worked, yes. And then Jack Fisk worked as production designer on Phantom of the Paradise. Sissy Spacek was set dresser. And then she got cast as Carrie in this movie. And I want to say, I might have already said this in the movie, in our Phantom of the Paradise episode, but Jack Fisk and Sissy Spacek also worked on Eraserhead and owned points on Eraserhead. So anytime Eraserhead makes money, Jack Fisk and Sissy Spacek also make money.
Good for them.
So like all those Eraserhead t-shirts, a hot topic?
Yeah, no, probably not, because those are probably all like unlicensed bullshit.
Yeah.
What about
Nobody-
a little baby
But
Bok-Bagok?
maybe if they're officially licensed, yes.
I feel like
I think
Hot
John C.
Topic
Reilly
only
should
sells
play
the best.
Eraserhead.
He should. That'd be a fun fucking short film.
I want him
Yeah.
to
John
play.
C. Reilly.
I was just
as-
thinking, like, it
No,
popped
I
into
want
my
him
head.
to
That'd be
play.
great.
I want him to play that as Steve Brule.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's got to be
Oh,
close to
totally.
that.
But
Yeah.
to tie it back around to Carrie, he designed the Saint Sebastian statue after they had figured out the ending, which obviously we'll get to at the end of the
Oh.
episode. So once they had figured out the ending, Jack Fisk was like, "Ooh, let's do a little bit of a foreshadowing with the statue that we want to put in her closet and make it look like her mom at the end of the movie." Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. I like it.
Gentle
Was that supposed to
audience.
be Saint Sebastian
Yes.
anyway? Not the statue, but the way that the end played out.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if they had Saint Sebastian specifically in mind. It probably had a little bit of like crucifixion idea.
Yeah.
But with the knives and
Because
the
obviously it
pose.
looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not obviously quite crucifixion, but it's pretty close. But yeah,
Right.
they went the Saint Sebastian route. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. It looks like,
and it
she's
makes
been
more
shot with
sense
arrows.
as Saint Sebastian because Saint Sebastian was a literal martyr, and Carrie's mom sees herself as a martyr at the end of this movie.
1,000%.
Can you hear my eyes rolling?
About her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that you're supposed
sure.
to. I think you're supposed to.
Oh,
that way.
brother.
Well, does she think of herself as a martyr the moment she was left with Carrie?
Probably.
Because that was what I was picking up there. Was like, oh, he left me
no.
with you.
No, look at
No,
the way
the
she
moment-
walks down the stairs and she's floating and smiling.
I think
like
she
feels like
I
she's
think
really.
she can save Carrie up until the point where she realizes that she can't.
No, she doesn't. I don't agree with that. And I think that she thinks she was a martyr from the moment her husband came home and actually had sex with her.
But she liked it.
Yeah, I mean,
She liked it. She's been atoning
y'all
for that.
are sticking on that.
She's been
and like
atoning
it's
for that her whole life, though. In her mind, like that was her big sin. And Carrie is always the reminder of her backslide,
Of her transgression.
sin.
It's
Yeah.
funny to me having
Yep.
read the book because the way she describes, I mean, it's quite similar to the way she describes it later, but it's when I was reading it as a woman, I was like, oh, cool. We're describing like how she got raped by her husband or whatever, and then ended up with Carrie. And I just feel like I'm not quite hearing that the same way.
in this
in the movie, it definitely doesn't come across that.
Yeah,
way.
in the movie for
Right.
sure, and also in this conversation with
Well,
these
we're talking
three
about the
dicks
movie. We're
that
talking
are
about the-
surrounded by.
We're talking about the movie. We're not
Yeah, I'm
talking.
only talking about
No,
the
no,
movie.
I know that. Yes, yeah, but in the movie, 100%, yeah, it absolutely does
Yeah.
not come off
Yeah.
that way because she's very like orgasmic about.
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
loved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she's letting her. She's
Well, I think it's kind of a difficult movie about a female perspective to discuss because it was written by a man
Mm-hmm.
and the
Based
movie
on-
was directed by a man.
Yeah,
Right? So
Absolutely.
it is definitely like that female experience through this like male lens anyway. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, and then you're also you're now writing in this concept of this highly religious woman and her experience with sex that she doesn't want to like, but then becomes orgasmically remembering.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost it borderlines that she's experiencing a fetish more so than like
she's not. That's just how she's.
It's
right. It's what she's
that's how they made her.
exactly.
They being.
well,
he,
it is,
him.
but it is ecstasy for her. And the end of this movie, it is.
Well,
it
when
is-
she's being murdered, murder.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
She
That's the
is,
ecstasy.
She. I mean, this is fucked up. But there are people. I mean, god damn it. I mean, look at like fundamental Muslim religion, right? Like fundamental Islam, right?
Right.
Is all about this. It is about like this ecstasy of martyrdom. It's like martyrdom is a desired end to your human life.
Right.
right? And she's experiencing that exact same thing.
It brings you to God
Right.
when you do that.
Well, there's also a lot of people
And
who...
I'm not saying it's like it's something to be celebrated at all, but I'm saying that's definitely what's happening here.
Well, there are a whole bunch of people who said, I'm not wearing a mask or getting the vaccine because if God wants to take me, let me go.
I know people like
like-
that who are very close to me in my family. Yep.
Oof. That's weird.
So anyway, Carrie's trapped in a closet,
With R. Kelly.
and
Well, no.
Oh,
I meant Saint Bonaventure, whatever.
Saint
his name is.
it's Sebastian.
I had to lighten the...
Sebastian.
Yeah, that was a good moment for that. Lightening the mood with R. Kelly, though. Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
my
that's
mistake.
not
I had to back out of it. Go ahead.
That's not a
She's
move
in the
like that.
closet.
She's in the closet, and then her mom is like sewing on this ancient sewing machine. And
That's
then,
also from the White Company.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
I would like to fuck around with that sewing machine though, because
Sure.
I
It does
sew,
look pretty
I
cool.
want to see how that works. I want to use it.
It's probably got that old pedal thing.
Yeah, it's definitely got a pedal thing. And then Carrie just like walks out of the closet.
Yeah, like she let her out or something.
She never locked her in. This is like
Oh.
Carrie.
I think
Carrie
she's
does
so
her own
conditioned.
atonement. That's what I think is like the end is about.
I don't think
too.
she does her own. Oh,
She lets herself out after she's prayed enough.
Yes, she makes her
annoyed
own
with
decision
that.
on that. Her mom never locks her because you can see the lock
Yeah.
behind her on the door.
just
She
holds
never
it
locks
closed.
it
Yeah,
until Carrie
and then
calms down,
Carrie turns
and
to pray.
Yeah.
with the
Yep.
statue.
Yeah.
That creepy ass statue. Although I would like,
It's
wouldn't
super
that be
creepy.
great
It's
to-
super creepy.
to get a statue like that and then put it next to somebody's bed while they're sleeping, like as a nightlight, and then they wake up in the middle
Yeah,
of the
with
night and
the
they see
little
the fucking thing.
eyes.
Yeah, that'd
It's
be
lovely.
yeah, that would be
Fucking
so nice.
scary.
I'd like to walk to the bathroom
That's
with
terrifying.
that light, the light of Saint Bonaventure.
the light of Saint Satan.
Sebastian.
I know what it is.
Sebastian, isn't he the fucking
The claw guy.
Under the
Yeah.
sea.
Yeah.
Under the sea.
the claw guy?
In the closet.
Well, nobody can see you.
Right. Yeah.
God, Jeff thinks we're on film and he's doing
I-
hand gestures.
Oh.
Always doing hand gestures
Can't you hear
over
that?
here.
Listen, Carrie goes upstairs and she prays, and her mom tries to get in her room, and the door's locked, and she's like, "Carrie, let me in." And Carrie's like, "It's open, Mama."
Well, because she breaks the mirror.
Oh,
She
yeah.
gets mad.
Oh, yeah,
and it
with
goes
the, like,
whoop, 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 and it shatters and it lands, and then like the mom's like, "Hey, wait a minute, that's
What
weird."
the fuck?
And then she goes upstairs and like, "Carrie, let me in, and she's like, "It's open, Mama." And she
Mama?
comes in and she put the mirror back with her brain.
Yeah.
I
the
like
brain
that
bits.
scene's creepy because you got the image of actual Jesus
wobbling
Right.
and
behind
warbling
her.
in the
Yeah,
back.
it's so good. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the fractured picture of Jesus, that's probably allegory or something. I don't know.
That's probably
Stop
something.
using words.
Probably some things. Talking about some things.
Probably some
I think-
stuff that happened in some things.
The audience should take a shot anytime they try to say foreshadowing or allegory or anything that you heard in your 8th grade English class.
Those things actually exist, though,
I know they exist, but
and they're important in film.
They are.
I'm
Sorry to tell you.
take a shot.
Sorry to tell you is another one that you got to
Yeah,
take a
sorry
shot
to tell you. Take a shot on that one. Sorry
Yeah.
to tell you.
Menstruation and
Sorry.
allegorical horror.
Yeah.
She broke
like
the
drink
mirror.
an entire bottle.
Menstruation.
Menstruation and allegorical horror. Yes.
Okay, Carrie's back at school.
Kelsey's
and
taking control. She
Yep.
doesn't want us to slow
Do
this
it.
down. So
This
you know
is
what I'm
what I
going to do?
do.
I'm going to start talking
Yep.
about nothing. No, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Carrie's back at school, and the teacher's reading a poem.
Yes, and it's written by Tommy Ross. Was that his last name?
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
great American hero.
Right, William Catt.
Yeah.
And
He's
he's
walking on air.
Yeah.
right.
Believe it or not.
I don't get it. Am I too young?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So anyway, so like he is kind of sheepishly kind of smiling and kind of laughing about this poem too, and the guy's reading it, and Carrie says that it's beautiful, and he and the teacher, who is it Sidney Lessick?
He
Is
looks
that his
really
name?
familiar.
No, he's
Yeah,
from,
he's in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bow
He
tie
broke
guy.
out for this movie when Chief threw the thing through the window. He
He
escaped
also
and became
left.
a teacher.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm out of here too.
I knew he was super familiar.
Yeah, actually, the original ending of that movie was both of them running off into the horizon.
Nice.
Yeah, anyway, and the one guy is like totally annoying the chief. Anyway, so
The chief goes back.
Chief just would have murdered him with a pillow, I'm pretty sure.
oh yeah, dirty pillows.
Yeah, dirty. He would have murdered him with
Oh.
dirty pillows. Jeff's
Yeah.
going to write a note down about that. It looks like.
Dirty
No, go
pillows.
ahead. What?
So he and Carrie says that it's beautiful, and the teacher's like, well, how about that? Carrie White thinks it's beautiful, and then like people start laughing at her, and it's just it sucks because it's like even the teachers are piling on to her.
It's kind of cool that this scene is like subverting what you expect. Because when you see Tommy, you expect him to be the prick fucking jock, right?
Right.
Like you expect him to be the asshole and to make fun of her when she talks about the poem. But it's totally reversed, which
Right.
I find
I do
kind
like
of refreshing.
even meekly he does stand up for her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aw,
he
shucks.
says, "You suck."
Yeah.
Aw, shucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I liked
It's
the
cool.
shot too.
Right.
Of like
You can
The-
see the both
the
of
you
them.
split-
see him
split diopter scene?
smiling, and then you see
a
his face fall
Right.
when the teacher starts making fun of him. And
Yeah.
his smile's weird, but I liked that shot.
It is.
He's
very-
got a very wide smile.
He shows a lot of teeth. He
A lot
looks,
of bottom
he looks
teeth.
like Fire
A lot of
Marshal Bill
bottom teeth.
when he smiles.
I read something about all right, I want to talk a little bit real briefly about the technical aspects of this film. The editing, the long takes, the split screen, and the split dioptic double focus.
Yeah.
These are all kind of cutting edge in 1976. And also, again, I think lending credence to that idea of this is a director who is keeping you a little bit off kilter, a little bit on the edge. He's doing new things. He's breaking new ground technically with cameras, and it's just interesting. But he abandons it later. He went full hog with the split screen in the final reel with the big climax of the movie, and he abandoned it because he realized in editing that it sucked all of the energy out of the action, which I found interesting. So he only used it in certain parts, and he only used the red gel in certain parts, and then he was like, okay, I need to actually let this breathe a little bit more, and he pulled it out. So it's very much a filmmaker finding his way,
Right.
but it's also a filmmaker who was very deliberate in almost everything he did in this movie. Like every shot was planned months in advance. And you don't really see that much preparation in horror these days, right?
Right.
So it's very much of its time as well. It's a horror film trying to stand out critically and as important cinema, and I think it achieved that.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Well, I mean, yeah, the whole idea of like you see what she's doing and you're seeing what it's being done to. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So anyway, that's
It's
just
memorable.
that's just a little a sidebar there.
Yeah. I like it.
So shortly after that, we see that our teacher, the gym teacher, has the shitbag girls all lined up to do detention. And she's given Carrie a week away from gym. I have a feeling so she can fucking lay it to the other ones.
Oh fuck yeah, man!
Yeah. And so she has, it's like, if you don't do this, you can't go to prom. To which immediately,
Chris.
Chris is like, I'm not going. I'm not doing it.
And we're introduced to fucking Rainbow Hat Girl.
Yeah,
PJ
PJ
Souls.
Souls. Yeah.
Norma.
Yeah. Norma and PJ Souls.
PJ Souls plays the same character in every movie, but just a little
Hater.
bit meaner.
Yeah. And in this one, she's dressed like a good guy doll.
She reminds me of Carrie
Chucky.
Fisher's daughter.
Oh, a little
Like
bit.
Carrie Fisher's
yeah.
daughter would play this role
Billy
over and over.
Lord?
Yeah,
Yes,
Billy Lord.
yes, thank
totally.
you, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she'd do it a little hotter.
Maybe a little hotter, but that doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Did
Okay.
you guys know Carrie White eats shit? That was
Yeah. That's
Carrie
was
White
written on
eats
the
shit
door.
is on
It's
the
written on the door.
Yeah.
Carrie White eats shit. And there's a janitor who has to clean that up while
He's not doing a
That's
good job, by the
that's
way.
another great shot because Carrie comes into frame in the
Yeah.
door, in the window of the door, and it just comes in on, pushes in on her. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So and then like, okay, so you can't go to prom and you already know there's dissent, but she's going to stick to it because it's like nobody else will stick with her.
Yes, no one will go with her, and Yeah.
Yeah.
That says a lot about her. Like, she's
Yes.
so fucking annoying. And we all knew that girl. She was like, you're going to go to detention? Like, she was mad at Norma, Rainbow Hat Girl.
That's kind of nice, too. That's another thing that's, like, kind of subverted because normally those girls follow each other. They click to get that click sticks together.
Well,
and they were all
Amy
like,
Irving
no, this
has
is
the
wrong.
leash.
What we did was wrong.
Yeah.
We do deserve a little bit of penance for this.
Yeah.
And let's just get it over with.
Right.
Right?
Sure.
And Nancy Allen or Norma, right? Norma is not willing to let it go.
No, Norma is PJ Souls.
Chris.
Yeah, Norma,
Chris, thank you.
Hot chick.
Nancy Allen. Yeah.
Hot chick, not hat chick.
Hot chick, not hat.
RoboCop's partner.
Yeah, Robo partner.
Robo partner.
Who's RoboCop's partner?
Nancy Allen.
Chris.
Really?
She's
Yeah.
RoboCop. She's awesome in RoboCop.
She is awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, stretch 2, 3, 4.
Right. So they're doing like serious calisthenics.
That is not... Okay.
It wasn't that serious.
It wasn't.
Not
It was
serious.
No,
it
but
was
it
really
was,
pretty. Even Susan was like, "This doesn't seem that hard."
The
but it might be
were,
hot out that day.
It might be hot.
The shorts were seriously short.
And the socks were seriously long.
Yeah.
They were meeting each other, but
there's-
not the way
but
you
Back
think
in the
they
day
would.
when
Still
the
some
shorts were
slapping.
short and the socks
But there's
were
still
long.
some slapping to be done.
There is some
there
slapping.
was some slapping to be done.
Another girl gets slapped.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the same
Chris.
girl who always
so,
got slapped.
so Chris has finally had enough, and she's like,
Yeah, 40 minutes into
like
her
marching
50-minute
in place.
session.
right,
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1,
and she's
2.
like, "Fuck this," and she goes up and is like, "I'm not having any more." And then she gets hauled, like the fucking teacher just
This is
rears
fist closed
back.
almost, if
Yeah.
not fist closed.
It
are
looks
good.
like it's
It's not.
it
close.
looks like she's
It's
about
close.
to, and she just clobbers Chris
I like
across
how
the face.
Chris's hair like got bigger afterwards.
Yeah, like it was surprised.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh.
So,
So then, so she just like hauls off, and it's like, all right, fine. You're not going to, if you're not going to do this, you're not going to prom. And there you go. She's not going to prom anymore. She's not doing detention anymore, but she can't get anybody to help her. She can't get Edie McClurg to help her. She can't get, Amy Irving tells her to shut the fuck up or whatever.
Yep.
who is Amy Irving?
She is,
Sue.
Sue.
Okay.
Curly hair.
Curly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So she tells her, it's like, get bent, get the fuck out of here with this. We're going to do our thing. And she can't even get Norma to go along with her. So she's like, fuck. But she has a dipshit boyfriend
Played by John Travolta.
played by
John
John Travolta,
Tra!
who also wails on her at one point too.
Yeah.
That's a bad day.
Yeah. She keeps calling him a dumb shit or
Wait,
something.
where?
And every time she does that, he hits her. That's a great relationship.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're going to have 3 kids.
Yeah, probably.
Back then. Yeah.
And beat them
So
too.
directly after that scene, we have Sue who asks Tommy to ask Carrie to go to prom with her, and we're unclear on what the motives are.
And
there,
in the
right?
scene before that, with John Travolta.
That's
and-
right
and-
after.
oh,
no,
is it? Yeah. Okay. All right.
What happens is Carrie goes to the library and she has the finger on the page and is like reading very slowly. And I wrote, "Who taught Carrie to read?"
Nobody.
Mom.
Nobody
Yeah.
did. She was reading about telekinesis. She was looking through the card catalog, which pleased me a lot as a bibliophile. And then we have Sue asking. She goes and stands by the track, and Tommy's running, and he's the only one in the black
Yeah.
shirt, and his hair
It's
is
perfect.
glorious.
It is
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's perfectly square
It's floating
cut.
on air.
It's the only nice curls in this film.
Believe it or not.
And she's like,
It's
"Hey,
not the only nice curls.
Yes, it is.
No, Amy Irving's curls are pretty.
Would you call her Sue?
Sue's curls are great.
It's just me.
No, Tommy's curls are way better than Sue's curls. Sue's curls have been brushed too much.
I like Sue's curls.
They've been brushed too much.
She's got that
audience.
part in the middle. It's so cute. Yeah. Like,
And the barrettes.
Yeah.
Now we know what Jason's into.
I like the curls. I like the
curls are fine. Curls are great.
I have curly hair.
Curls are great.
Anyway, she asked Tommy to take Carrie to prom, and we don't know what happens. And then we have John Tra.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he's like, hey, and he's driving around drinking a beer all over his face.
It's
All
he
over
doesn't
the
drink
face.
any of it.
Yeah, he pours it on his face.
Yeah, it's all over his lips and chins and things. And he's like,
Bits and bits and tits.
yeah, exactly. And so he's like, and people are like yelling at him and from the car next to him. Girls pull up and it's like, hey, how's it going? He's like, hey. And a cop comes up, and that's when he decides that he's got to put the beer away, but he's got it all over his face.
But in the 70s,
and that's when she calls him a shitbag or whatever. And so
in the 70s, did cops just like shine lights at people while they were driving cars? Like that feels like maybe dangerous.
It feels like a little bit of this sort of dark version of American Graffiti. This scene,
A little bit, yeah.
The way it plays, and
I feel
it has that soft focus again too, like that you had in the sort of those, I don't know, a little bit more happy 70s films like American Graffiti, and it just had that feel to it.
Well, it's I feel like it's what it's doing is it's taking it like these kids are no good,
yeah,
until they become adults. So we have to press the thumb down on them,
yeah,
which is exactly what Carrie's mom's doing too. You know, in a different way, in a more
it's interesting because
way.
I do think that there's something about this movie that captures that King feeling. When you read a Stephen King book, you usually have one character that you latch onto who is sort of like your breath of fresh air, who's your savior, who is like the person that you love.
Who is that in this?
But generally speaking, like everybody else is suffocating. Everybody else in the book is ominous. Every place, every person, every event has this feeling of dread around it.
Definitely in the 70s and 80s King.
Yeah.
He softened a bit through the 90s, but
and I think that this movie does a good job of capturing that.
Yeah.
But who is it in the movie to
I mean,
you?
you want to feel for Carrie. I mean,
okay, but like
you do.
when you said, like everyone else is surrounded by a sense of dread and suffocation, like I feel like I'm annoying and I hate saying these three words. In the book.
Take a drink. Take a drink, everybody.
Yeah.
Whenever anyone says in the book.
In the book, it's like Sue. Because we get her plot line and she's talking about Tommy and her dumb high school garbage, and in the movie I almost feel like it's and it's strange watching the movie having read the book, because I'm like, I feel like when you say that, I'm thinking Tommy.
Yeah.
For me, it's Tommy. Like, I'm latching onto him and his weird, like, all the teeth smile and his nice curly hair.
In all honesty, Tommy is the person I feel the worst for in this entire film.
All right. I have two things about this. Yeah. So first of all, yes, totally agree. Sue should be the person who is your window, and who is that person. It's been a long time since I've read the book, but I'm happy to hear that she is sort of that person in the book. But in the movie, and this is the right time to talk about this, she is presented as is she in on it or is she not in on it? Is she playing a joke or is she being sincere? And you don't know in the movie. They play her as a device for suspense. She's a wedge character, right? And by default, so is Tommy.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't want them to be.
It's annoying.
And you kind of think, oh man, maybe Sue is, but Tommy is ignorant, right? So they kind of split you between the two of them as well, and I think it works really well. But you're right, it is a bit annoying, especially if you're just read the book. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Which but also most people didn't read the book until after the movie.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Yeah.
So
right. But my second point is you do feel for Tommy. Because I think the greatest acting moment in this movie is Tommy in the scene between Sue and the gym teacher. When the gym teacher has confronted her about their
why
deal.
They
asked Carrie to the prom, why he asked Carrie to the prom, and he is stuck in the middle between the two of them. And the exasperation on his face at the end of that scene where he just kind of like looks to the side and is like, throws his hands up in the air.
He can't understand.
He's
why
like, I'm
any
just
of
trying
this
to
is
please anyone.
I'm just trying to go to fucking prom with whoever to
he's
make
just trying
somebody
to
happy.
be a good guy.
Yeah.
He just wants to see some dirty pillows.
And it's that point in the movie where you do feel, I felt like even if Sue is in on it, I don't think Tommy is.
No, hell no.
I never thought he was, and I've read the book, but it's been the 80s.
But he's in this tug and pull between all of these characters, Carrie even, right?
Yeah.
He's subservient to her in a lot of ways.
Oh, he's
it's great because he was very touched by Carrie, liking his poem that he did not write, which he fesses up to later.
Yes, I didn't write that.
And Sue, his girlfriend, right? I think they're dating. At least they were
Yeah,
going
they're
to
totally
go
dating,
to. They were
yeah.
going to go to prom together. Asks him to do this thing, and he's kind of like. Until she ignores him for an hour, he's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. But
yes, that's the scene we're on. They're like watching.
They're
TV
watching
and
a
studying.
Western. Yeah, it's like this James Garner movie's over, so I guess I'll do it.
Fine, fuck it. I'll
do
take her
it.
to
Fine,
prom.
fucking fine.
Yeah.
Do you want to make out or?
Yeah, it's like, can we make out now? But he seems to like genuinely have no issue with her. With
Carrie?
Yeah,
Carrie.
100.
I
Yeah.
think he likes Carrie.
Yeah.
He likes her.
I mean, I think he's just the guy who likes a lot of people.
Word, he likes everybody. He reminds me of Carolyn, who I know has been on this podcast. Carolyn doesn't not like anyone. She likes everyone.
Good.
Well,
Well,
except for
we all
Chuck.
have a person. Does she not like you?
No, that was.
But everyone knows a person that like genuinely gets along with everyone, and like Tommy is that dude for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we jump to this John Tra scene where they're starting to make out
Yes,
and the girl
because
just
that's
has
the
her
next
mouth open?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's the next thing that basically happens.
She
'cause
wants him. She doesn't want him. And then he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And then her mouth is just open while they make
right,
out.
and it's a weird kiss. It is a very like an alien kiss because it's like she doesn't know how to kiss
And then
him
she
or doesn't
goes-
want
Well,
to.
she can also talk while she's giving a blowjob, which is really fucking weird.
100%.
No, she cannot talk.
Jason's escaping. He's not going to go under the table this time. For those of you who listened to the Scream episode a couple of
Right,
weeks ago.
he's gonna fuck.
You did
and
Scream?
Next week,
Yeah.
next week is Scream
Oh yeah, that's next week. Jason's going to go under the table
and fuck everything
and
up.
fuck everything up.
Yeah.
That is called
The cats are
foreshadowing.
leaving the room too.
Cats are like, we're out of
Sorry,
here.
I had those backwards.
No, so anyway, yeah, but like this is the point where now she's asking him to do a thing, and this is Jason's going to have a thing about this.
Yeah,
here
but
in a
all
minute.
she says is, "I hate Carrie White," while her mouth is supposed to be around his dick.
Right.
So I feel like, you know how I'm talking into this microphone? Like that's exactly what she's doing to his dick. She's just being like, "Hey man, I
She's
hate Carrie."
amplified by
Like
his
into the head of his penis. She's
well,
being
John
like, "I
Travolta
hate."
does have a microphone penis.
Yeah.
The Scientologist put it there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To test the
L. Ron Hubbard gives you that shit.
yeah. So yeah,
It's all part of Dianetics.
it sure is. Anyway, it's chapter 2.
I'm sorry, I'm getting my own.
Okay. Well, anyway, so she says, "I hate Carrie White," and he's like, "Oh, I love her."
Who? He says who?
Yeah, he says who. He doesn't even know who she is.
No.
But hey, he got him really good, BJ.
Yeah, so she
got a really good
obviously,
blower.
even though he's abusive, and she would have gotten out of the car otherwise, she has an ulterior motive, so she uses him
She
to
uses
get what
him.
she wants.
Exactly.
What
And-
she wants is for him to help her in the plan.
right.
There's an interesting representation of femininity in this
Right.
film where like Carrie has the most power and no like man, and she's got her period and that's all a thing, and then like these other chicks are all like working through men to take their power.
Right. And well, all the women are on the top of whatever structure they have, right? Like Carrie's the most powerful.
Yeah, but like nobody knows it. Like she's
Right.
coming into it, but you know,
Right.
she's powerless the whole time until she goes to the prom.
Right. And then you have like you have these other forces where you have like a Piper Laurie's just like Satan in this situation. She's the opposite of Carrie, where
But she has more power.
right. And
Mama.
but then you have
She has matriarchal power, but that power is challenged.
right.
Right.
But then you have Sue and Chris who are using their power over their boyfriends for good and evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have to operate through men.
They have to, they,
Well, and that makes them somehow as an, you know, that is something that has been portrayed so many times is women whispering into the ears of men.
Behind
it's-
every strong man is a strong woman.
Right. Like that's garbage.
but in a way, it is supporting in a fucked up, twisted way. It is supporting Carrie's mother's book about how women
whispered in
taint
Adam's
thing.
ear. They whispered in Adam's ear.
Oh, hey, I like that.
Yeah.
And here's the non-religious
I
guy
don't
coming in
like
and
it.
boop.
Well,
It's good for the
Taught
story.
you
that
something
this
about
isn't
the-
No, I
like-
just don't like the concept. Yes, I
sure.
understand.
Well, yeah, the concept sucks, but the concept
What-
is
is utilized well in the movie.
Yeah,
What word
and
is that?
it's-
Is
and
it
it's appropriate.
allegory or?
Oh, drink.
Do we have to drink now?
Yeah.
Now you're using the words.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So at this point, this is where we
Have we
get
gone
into
pig
the.
hunting yet?
No, we're about to.
Well, we're about to because
Have
we,
they
we've
had
gotten to
supper
the,
yet? Has she told her mother that she's going to prom?
no.
No.
No, because what we've gotten
Tommy
here
goes
is,
to Carrie in the library, and he asks her,
Yeah.
and she runs away.
and Carrie runs away, and you hear her like shoes or
I love
clogs
that.
just like clock.
That
clock,
is
clock,
that is
clock.
Yeah.
like the sweetest thing ever. Her just
Her
like
running.
running
Just
away.
like, "Peace out."
Her answer is
Bye.
peace out.
The answer is not today,
The answer
Jesus.
is- The answer is beaten feet.
And then the gym teacher talks to her, and she's like, "Hey, babe, you're so pretty. Look at your eyes. Look at your lips. Look at your tits.
Put a
Look at
little,
your butt.
put a little.
I saw you touching those titties in the gym shower,
Ooh,
and
dang.
so pretty."
Yeah, so pretty. And then
And then she goes and asks Tommy. Then the gym teacher goes and asks Tommy and Sue. She's like, "Why the fuck did you ask Carrie?" And Sue
Right.
is being aggressively nice.
Right. It's right. It's like, why not? You know, we owed it to her or something.
But she's not. Yeah, there's two things here. She's not very articulate about why, which I also like because none of the teens in this are very articulate in general. Which
is truth.
which I wish that were in more age appropriate movies.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, we had a movie where the teens were overly articulate
Yes,
with Can't Hardly Wait.
right, correct. It drives me crazy. And then, but then
That
also,
was a
but it
different
also
movie
helps
from around that
but
same
it also
time.
sets up the idea that she's a little wishy-washy. She can't come right out and say why because maybe she's a villain, right?
That I think that's like a story-driven choice there.
Right.
Yeah.
And but they keep playing it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish she could be more earnest.
I
in
wish
this.
too, but
Yeah.
I don't think you needed it.
Well,
ultimately.
it's shifting the focus
Yep.
of the movie versus the book.
And also
through
let the
Carrie.
villain be the
Yeah.
villain,
right.
right? Don't
Yeah,
Yeah, honestly, don't take away from Chris and Jontra.
and
Right.
and it works in the movie's detriment because of the plot hole, because of the fact that what's her name, Chris and John Travolta go to kill the pig in a scene well before it's commonly known that Tommy is taking Carrie to the prom. So it's like
Correct.
what is the actual plan here? Are you just like clairvoyant? You know that they're going to go to the prom together and that they're going to be the king and queen, which they do rig later.
Right.
And they're going to dump the pig's blood. Oh, spoiler alert! Right. So it's like it doesn't make story structure.
Even
sense.
the kid talking about wanting to run the ballot box.
Yeah.
Is prior to that. So
no,
that's
it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's
It's
not?
after. It's
Yeah.
after. It
Oh,
is.
okay,
That,
good.
they got
No,
that
it's-
right.
it's
It's
right
just
before.
the pig scene.
yeah.
It's right
Which
before.
I have weird factoid about.
Well,
the
it's
pig
not
scene.
just the pig scene. It's the I hate Carrie White
Well,
blowjob,
but-
then the pig scene.
but
Both of those.
But
are
I
a
can
little
buy
bit-
that because you're planning something to get back at her. It's only when they go to get the pig's blood are they planning something that they don't have any prior knowledge of.
You know,
Well,
that's
they go
another
to-
thing.
they-
Both of the evil women
Evil.
Chris and Carrie's mom both get some sort of a pleasure from talking about something they hated or they didn't like or that they didn't want. One of the other, like, you know, because like
Are you telling me that when what's her face goes down on Jontra that she's
she's
getting
getting a little
pleasure
she's getting a little something
in
out
talking
of that.
to his dick?
No, about talking about how much she hates Carrie.
Should have been. I hate Carrie.
Yeah.
What was that?
I
Bob.
can't.
Bup.
Enunciate.
That's it. I'm leaving.
So a weird factoid.
Teeth.
The crazy like mosaic building with the
pigs.
the pigs and everything
Yeah.
where they go to get the pigs, that was in LA, like downtown LA. That place existed.
Why? The
And
pigs
only
look so
reason-
happy.
And the only reason that Jack Fisk knew about it was because he used to work with Bill Paxton when Bill Paxton was just little itty bitty.
Is
Bill
that the
Paxton
dude from
would-
Twister?
Yes.
Yes, was a
Dope.
production assistant for Jack Fisk in the 70s. And he said that Bill Paxton used to do these really kind of weird experimental 16 millimeter short films where he would just shoot all sorts of weird locations in LA. And so whenever he needed a location, he would ask Bill Paxton. And so he asked him about, like, I need something that could be a pig farm or pig factory.
That's fun.
And he was like, I got you. Farmer
I
Brown's in whatever in LA is perfect.
I want to see that.
And it was that the reason that fucking scene is in Carrie is because of Bill Paxton.
I want to see
Awesome.
Bill
That's
Paxton
crazy, right?
shit.
Yeah, I want to see his movies now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
They were buried with him, unfortunately.
Wait, he died?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
A few
In a
years ago.
twister.
No,
Oh, sorry.
but people were.
Have
pretty
you guys
twisted
done
up about
Twister yet? Can I
No, we
come on
haven't.
and do Twister?
Maybe.
it. Maybe
I don't know.
we should.
Listen,
That cast is weird,
are
man.
we at
I
the-
watched it recently. It's
are we
wild.
talking about Twister? Are we
Nope.
at the Piggy Scene? We're at
Yeah,
the Piggy
so we're at
Scene.
the Piggy Scene,
Yeah.
and they have a big dumb guy with a sledgehammer, and he
You
now
mean John Travolta?
Well, no, the other guy, the kind of chubby guy,
God,
he
what
doesn't
was
want
his
to
name?
do it now. And so he's like, oh, fuck you. And so John Travolta just takes, and he goes in and just fucking wails on a pig, like almost not even thinking about
With
it.
like a sledgehammer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
To
I
which
also,
it's just, that's a little disturbing.
it's
He
a
didn't
bit
have to think about
much,
it.
and yeah, that's not how you get like pig's blood. Also,
Right.
like at the end of the, I mean, when they put the pig's blood up, they have a single small bucket.
Right.
Yeah.
Of
It's a little
pig's
gas
blood.
can.
Yeah, he had. The gas
was a
can
messy
was
job.
larger
That was a
than
messy
normal,
Yeah.
but the bucket
Yeah, it
that
was
was
just like
at the prom.
It was a dollar store
mean,
mop bucket.
Like, I feel like the water bottle, the 32-ounce water bottle I have in front of me is like more than the amount of blood they had at the prom. And that's what happens when you use a fucking sledgehammer.
Right. It's
Yeah.
all of it's on the fucking ground or the other pigs.
Oh yeah, or on you.
Oh, and
Yeah.
that Chris bitch is yelling like, "Do it, do
Yeah.
it, do it!"
Yeah,
like
she's really into it. She's super sadistic. That's another
Yeah.
kind of King thing, right? He's
Yeah,
got those characters who are just
the
unexpectedly sadistic.
well,
right.
yeah, it's
That's
like
not unexpected.
Right, but you know what I mean? It's like this person who is just common to you, known to you, all of a sudden has got this super sadistic tendency.
well, how
that
many
comes
King
out, right?
movies
Yeah.
is there just a fucking bully who is ready to cut your
Right,
eyeballs out
right.
of your head?
Totally,
Literally.
She's
Like,
she's
instantly.
absolutely that king,
Yeah.
that king bully in this.
Yeah,
Yep,
she's the first
yep,
Right.
king bully.
Yeah.
she truly is.
So then, so now everything we've all gotten now to the final act where it's the prom.
No,
Not quite.
hard no, because we have the scene where Carrie and her mom are having dinner,
Oh,
and
yes.
we learn that God gave us pimples because we misbehaved, and I got upset because God is upset with me.
That scene,
And then
is shot
she
so
like
fucking
the
awesomely.
the Last Supper painting
Tapestry,
behind them,
yeah.
the candles,
Mhm.
and then this is a scene from the book where her mom throws her tea in her face, in Carrie's face, and in the book the tea is like boiling. I mean, it's
Jeez.
like fresh tea. It's like, boiling hot
and
water.
which is funny because, well, not funny,
My
but
favorite
like
moment is when she says, "I'm going." A boy asked me to prom, and lightning crashes, and it
Yes.
Lights her
it
face up.
shines, lights her face
Yeah,
up. So
yeah.
good.
well,
Her mom's
and then
face up. Yeah.
like she tosses that drink on her, and Carrie doesn't miss a beat. She keeps going.
yeah.
It's like, psh, okay, whatever. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, act out.
And we have the great lines about after the blood comes the boys sniffing like dogs. Where's that smell coming from?
Yeah.
And she finds out now that Carrie has power too.
Yes.
Because she
Carrie's-
slams all the windows or doors or
Yeah.
whatever she's.
And we get the
Slamming.
nice soundtrack. Ree, ree, ree,
Oh yeah,
ree.
it's the stolen straight
Yeah.
from Psycho.
Oh
like,
yeah.
straight
Like,
rip.
De Palma will make no bones about the fact that he will steal shamelessly from Hitchcock at every opportunity.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Steal from the masters.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
why
Yep.
not?
Mama calls her
And
a witch.
it also
too.
has one of
Yes.
my favorite lines. Yeah, she calls her a witch, and I'll suffer no witch to burn, or suffer no witch to live. But she also says this is the doing of Satan, or something like that. It's
Yeah.
paraphrased. And Carrie says, "Nothing to do with Satan, Mama. It's me." It's like,
Oh,
Yeah, it's all me. I do these things.
Good.
I say that to
And
my
there are
Nana
other
every
people
Christmas.
like me.
the dichotomy of the mother too, because she represents witch
Yeah.
the entire movie. So like I even said at the very beginning, she looks like she
She
floats.
looks like a witch. Yeah,
Like she
and-
floats.
Yes,
Yeah.
she does.
She
Yeah.
looks like a
I mean, her
fucking witch,
hair
and then
and
she's
the
called
cape.
and
Yeah.
then she's calling her daughter a witch when it's like this is a total flip flop.
That's interesting too because she's also kind of like the town weirdo, right?
Yes,
Yes.
she's
And
a total
usually
witch.
the town weirdo is the person who is burned at the stake as a witch, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
witchcraft is a religion, right? Like, I mean, like Wicca and all
Wicca,
that is like an actual religion. Like, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's dope, Chuck.
Thanks.
So the guys go to a tuxedo shop.
No, John Troth. No, you're wrong.
to talk
John Troth fills up
Jeff
that
does, sorry.
trough of blood or the bucket of blood. Like,
Right.
we cut to the gym. And it's a very racist scene, so I guess I
Oh,
shouldn't
yeah.
talk about it.
Well, yeah, because he basically does the whole like, yes, ma'am, I'm doing a real good job. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that
It's
thing.
very
Yeah.
upsetting.
Oh yeah. Also, the other guy.
I don't
Well,
think
she
he
is
ever
a
read
little
Tom
bit of a-
Sawyer or Huck Finn either.
No,
so I don't know
think
where
he-
he's getting.
I don't
this
know
from.
if he knows how to read.
PJ
Um,
Soul's
John-
boyfriend also
Yeah,
also
just John
accosts
Travolta.
the prom organizer guy. It was like, so I want to help out with prom.
Yes.
It's like I want to be the guy who collects all the ballots. He's like, okay, could you be here at 6:30? He's like, no, I'm not gonna be here at 6:30. How about 8? I can do 8.
I'll be here at 8.
I'll be
I
there
love
at 8.
that.
Whatever works, man.
Yeah.
I'll do anything.
Well, and then, but I think, yeah.
And then there's a bunch of gossip scenes, and the girls are in the hair salon, and Rainbow Hat Bitch has the rainbow hat on top of the hair
The
dryer.
dryer?
Yeah,
The dryer
That's
hilarious.
my favorite thing about her, about PJ Souls' movie, is that she's very committed to that baseball cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate
It's
it.
Kelsey
It's my
Crack-
least
Crack
favorite.
thing.
It cracks me up.
Sorry to speak for you, but you
No,
said it a lot.
You got it. I hate it. I hate it.
It makes me laugh.
Well, so then,
So then the guys go get tuxedos.
They
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
do.
Here we go,
ahead,
Jeff.
do it. Do
they
the
sure
tuxedo
do.
scene.
So,
Tuxedo scene. Talk about the tuxedo scene.
Okay, done. So then Dirty Pillows. We just killed Chuck. Chuck's dead.
Chuck just did the new Northwestern.
R.I.P. Chuck.
Rest in power.
The new Northwestern.
The new Northwestern.
He's not going to be able to get up. What if he hit your egg chair and just like started bleeding out from the
We
head?
would finish
That was
the episode.
that was the podcast.
It'd be like the bucket that landed on Tommy's head.
Yes.
The egg chair that killed
Oh
Chuck.
my God.
All right, so
I
Jeff,
think
did
that
you
was-
really-
Tuxedos. You wanted to talk about
one of
the
our best film seizure jokes.
tuxedo.
No, the moment's passed now. So, all right, prom.
I was hoping you would mention Tommy and his like powder blue ruffles though.
No, that was cool. I knew a kid in senior year. He went to prom in a powder blue tux with a blue ruffled shirt.
That's awesome.
yeah, that is awesome.
That is
It
awesome.
was awesome. I was like, man, damn, I wish I had done that.
Yeah,
I
that's
just did tails
quintessential.
like an asshole.
Tails?
I had tails, yeah.
I need to recover. fellas.
That was good.
Everyone in this room is crying.
Yeah.
Well,
for Jeff.
Carrie has made her
No,
dress.
I am crying.
He's crying for different reasons.
Carrie has made her dress. She's getting ready for prom.
And that dress is just a goddamn slip. I'm
a
sorry,
nightgown,
but
yeah,
it
or a
is
slip,
it
yeah.
is not. I mean,
I'm on board.
I'm on board with what her mom has to say about how she can see her dirty pillows, but like, really, and this is a difference that actually does kind of bother me. I mean, the movie and her titties being out in that dress is like iconic when she's covered in blood and it's
Yeah.
like nothing, and it looks good with Sissy Spacek. Like it's perfect for the movie. But in the book, it sounds like she makes this really horrendous, like maroon, like thick velvet, like thing with
yeah.
like puff sleeves.
Like yeah.
And it doesn't, it
So it's
doesn't
not flattering
show
at all.
no, and it
Yeah.
certainly doesn't show any part of her dirty pillows, and it covers up most of her arms, and it's just like a almost like
like she's wearing a
medieval
upholstery.
type gown,
Like she just took the upholstery
I think
off the
it plays-
couch.
yes,
I
and
think-
made like a medieval gown with it, like.
I think they make a good choice in the movie then.
Oh, I agree.
Maybe it's too showing for the character that Carrie is.
Yes.
But it is kind of showing her come into power.
Yeah.
And I don't know that
With her
that's
tits
how,
out?
I don't know
That's
yes,
how
I'm
witches
trying
do
to
it.
take it back a little
So
bit.
witches do it.
But it is showing her as self what was the word? She's comfortable with herself. for lack of a better way to say it.
It's confidence. There's confidence.
Yes, there's confidence there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You have to
willing
be confident
show
to
her
have your
dirty
tits out.
pillows a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
And you don't have to do that to show your confidence, but I think that's what it's
Yes, you
trying to
do.
elicit.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
But I think I understand what Chuck is saying to the degree she's more comfortable in her own skin, literally and figuratively.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she's basically walking into prom naked.
Yeah, it's like a cool breeze, and her turkeys are done.
Yeah.
Turkeys? I wish.
You ever see those timer things that pop out of turkeys when they're done?
Oh,
Jeff is
wow,
saying
I
that
certainly
those
never
are
refer to
nipples.
my nipples as turkeys. No, I'm upset
No,
about
your
it.
nipples aren't the
it's a
turkeys. Your nipples are the
temperature gauge.
yeah.
Yeah.
That when the
Okay,
little thing
gentlemen,
pops
I
out.
get it. I get it.
Let
Let's stop there.
Let us explain this to you.
They're mansplaining turkeys and nipples.
I always think of the movie Money Pit. Turkey's done.
Turkey's done.
Every time you touch a hard nipple.
No.
Yeah, money pit.
No.
Nobody always thinks of money.
Every time Jeff says
Turkey's
done, I think of
Anyway.
Money Pit and hard nipples.
So so they
Mama tries to hurt herself.
Yeah, she does.
And Carrie
Yes.
pushes her down
We're
on
never
the
going
bed.
to get to prom, Jeff.
No,
Yeah.
we're close.
No,
Carrie
we're close now.
pushes her down on the bed
with
Her mind.
with her mind powers, with her mind
It's like
bullets.
just totally just poof.
It's so dope. I love
Yeah.
that moment. I kept being like, good for her. Good for you, Carrie.
And
Whoa.
she's
Get
like
it,
the second time
girl.
she's like, you're gonna stay there until
Yeah.
I leave,
You're not going to say a word.
and you're not gonna say anything until I get back.
But Carrie's mom tells her something that doesn't quite leave her.
I
They're
think she
all
says,
gonna
gobble,
laugh.
wobble, wobble.
They're
We're all gonna gobble, gobble, gobble.
Gobble,
Yeah.
wobble,
We're
wobble.
all gonna laugh at you. Exactly.
It's kind of iconic now.
It is very iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all going
Thank
to laugh at you.
Thank you, Adam Sandler,
Yes.
for making it.
Adam Sandler brought this to my attention, I'm pretty sure.
Can y'all
Turkey's done.
explain, because I am so beautiful and fresh-faced and younger than you?
There was a
Yes.
1990s comedy album. I can't remember the name of it, but it's by Adam Sandler.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
It's actually called
Yeah.
They're All Gonna Laugh at You,
Yeah.
isn't it? And one of the skits is just every time someone tries to start saying something, the other person, and it may be the mom in this, I can't remember what it is,
It's Adam
yells,
Sandler.
they're all gonna
as-
laugh at you. Just
Yeah.
over and over and over again every time this other person tries to say something.
Right, it's Adam Sandler like having a conversation with like his mom or grandma or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, comedy.
It was
album.
big in our childhood, for sure.
Comedy. That's
Yeah.
what that's called.
Go listen to the
Back
song
in
Medium Pace when you're leaving.
1955.
Yes.
Love Among the Stars is the theme for prom.
Yes, and everybody comes in, and everything's just dreamy.
And prom has a rockin' band, because I didn't go to my prom, but I'm pretty sure they just played like T-Pain, like let me buy you a drink. Like I think that was the only thing, or like Nelly or some garbage like that
You don't
at
know
my
what your
prom.
prom theme song was?
No, because I was out in the woods smoking pot every time.
Out in
there
the
was a prom.
woods. She was out there with the Blair
there-
Witch.
out there in the woods.
Ours, since we're talking about prom, was Fade Into You by Mazzy Star.
Oh,
Ooh, that's fantastic.
That's a good
Mine
one.
was
That's a good one.
In Your Eyes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good one too.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was my junior. What was my senior? It was not based on a song. My
No.
senior year.
Okay.
Anyway,
Jason, prom.
Jason,
I didn't have a senior prom.
homeschooling's the best schooling.
I went
Just
to
any
to
prom.
Susan's prom. I don't fucking remember what. the
Oh
song
my,
was.
really?
I don't remember.
did you go with? Who did you go with?
I went with Sarah Ellis, her best friend.
Oh yeah, Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Oh my god, I was gonna cry if you went to prom with your wife. I was gonna be like,
No,
that's adorable.
I didn't. I went with her best friend.
That's less
No,
than
my
adorable.
brother went to prom with his
yeah,
wife.
yeah. Chuck's brother went to prom.
Are you
with my wife.
serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dead
Totally.
serious.
Dead
What the
serious.
fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway, so so prom is there.
Will someone please ask me to prom? Gentle listeners.
Only if my wife asks me to, so we can
I'll
pour
wear a
blood
slip.
on your head.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
You would like that.
I would love that.
Let's do it.
Jason and I are the ones pouring
Just
blood
let
on
the teacher. Let the
You guys are John Tra.
Yeah.
I'm John and he's Travolta.
Yeah.
He's
You
got
took
the hair.
You took the lesser of the two roles.
I know.
Yeah, that's
I
mighty
really-
nice of you. So, go ahead.
I just really liked how they get to prom, like Tommy's reassuring her, they go inside, Carrie doesn't want to dance, and then like Tommy goes to get a drink, and the gym teacher sits down with her, and she's like, it's magical, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, it's super magic to sit at prom with your fucking gym teacher
Yeah.
for like an extended period of time, Carrie.
Yeah.
Oh, magical.
Yeah,
Then they
she's trying to
finally
convince
dance.
her how magical it is.
Now,
It's
something else happens though here because Sue is gobbling down dinner, and she's like, "What time is it?" And they say it's like 6:30 or whatever. She's like, "Oh shit, I gotta go." And you also see it like then cuts to John Travolta and Chris sneaking in
Under
and
the
getting
stage.
into
Yeah.
position. So it's
Yeah.
like, uh-oh.
Yeah, again, it's playing on that. Oh, is she in on it? Sue in on it or not? Yep, totally.
I hate it.
Yeah,
As a reader of the book, I hate it.
I don't necessarily
love
like it in the
I don't love
movie
it.
either.
I don't love it.
Yeah,
Not
it's
even
kinda
thinking about
poorly
the book.
done.
I don't.
But I also don't really honestly love the patronizing of Carrie either, because they are patronizing Carrie. Like, Tommy might be a good guy.
I don't think Tommy is
It's a bit
in
patronizing.
any way, shape, or form patronizing her. I think he
I agree
did
The
with
his.
Chuck.
situation,
I
though,
think-
maybe.
I think he did his girlfriend a favor, but I think he also, if this ended well, would have stayed with Carrie. I
don't
No,
believe
no,
that.
100%
I don't believe
no. Like, you know how
she
there's
feels like a charity case the
Yes.
whole time, and even if he is sincere in some of the things he says, which he can, the two things I don't believe are mutually exclusive, but it still feels like she's a charity case, and it's a little icky.
It is icky.
I do think his heart was in the right place, and I do think
I mean, he's the worst person in this movie if he's taking her to prom as a charity case and making out with her and
No, he's
kissing
not.
her.
He doesn't make out with her,
Yes, he
they
does.
do
He-
kiss,
Yeah, they do
and you're
kiss.
right.
Yes.
Like,
but it's not making out.
You don't do that to a girl.
Well, maybe
You don't do that to a girl.
Maybe
Well, I don't
stop
think it-
saying girl and start saying person.
Maybe he does win her over.
You don't do that to a
Or
person.
maybe she
but I'm
does
talking
win
You
about
don't
the
do that
movie.
to a
I'm talking
person.
about the movie.
Yes.
Again.
Maybe she wins him
I'm
over.
not
Maybe she wins him over with the kiss. I'll give you that.
But
No,
he
he
kisses
kissed
her.
her.
He kisses her.
And she didn't leave her mouth
So
open
his-
like Chris
I don't
did.
the way
totally
he's-
believe it though when he's like making the jokes about not going to be like hanging out with any other guys. So that feels a little bit jokey to me.
Ooh,
Like,
did
who
Tommy
else
say
would want
that?
you? Yeah, yeah. When he breaks it up between her and her gym coach,
Oh.
he kind of jokingly says, you know, oh, I don't want to see you like hugging up on any other guys. It's a joke.
Yeah, but she's talking
playing
to an
with her.
adult woman.
what-
I know,
what
but he's just playing. He's playing.
He's flirting.
He's flirting, but it also kind of feels a little bit like
If there's no sincerity in his kiss,
I don't know.
I take back everything I said about Tommy. I think he's a bad person, regardless of
No,
what his intentions.
I
are.
don't think
he's
anything-
a bad person.
You don't kiss a charity case and
but
make
we-
them feel
Nothing is that
wanted
black and white.
also-
and then walk away
But
from
Carrie-
them afterwards. That is black and white. Just leaving her in the lurch.
But we will
after
never.
making
We'll,
her
never.
feel-
We'll never
Right.
know because
It
Tommy.
doesn't
But you
matter.
guys
how
all said
fucking
you're right,
fucking
you're right.
dead.
But we also
And
have to consider he's a 17-year-old boy, even though he's played by like a 30-year-old.
Yeah, he's the great American hero.
Perfect hair.
He's an American hero.
But I don't think like nothing's that black and white, right? And I don't recall them kissing in the book outside of like a peck. So again, it feels like something that's added for dramatic effect because
Yeah.
as an audience member while I was watching even tonight, I was screaming, "Oh my god, they're kissing." I was like squealing. I like my uterus like turned over. And
That just takes away for me. It takes away the sweetness of anything he did.
I think he
But
can
he
be
was-
sweet still, though.
I think he was trying
for me,
to
it
give
takes it away. That's all I'm saying. You
I
guys
think-
can disagree.
Shut the fuck
You guys
up.
can
Agree or not
don't disagree.
disagree.
Don't disagree, man.
Guys, come on. We've already established
Look,
the rules.
I think he was trying to give her like a magical night, and they had a kiss. It wasn't like a
Yeah,
tongue.
let a guy
kiss.
tell anyone I was trying to give her a
No,
magical
shut the fuck
night.
I'm
up.
saying-
I mean
I'm
it
saying-
genuinely.
I know, but I don't believe it.
I started this fire.
Yes, you did.
I did because I do think that there's something patronizing about what they do, and it is the
Who's
entire
they?
plot.
The
Sue and
filmmakers.
Tommy,
The filmmaker.
and it is,
Well, and
and
Sue
it
and
is
Tommy.
the entire plot of the movie. She's all that.
I was gonna mention she's all that. There's like a new she's all
way.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a he's
there's
all
no one-
that.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they
or
like,
they're
it's
all
a
that.
gender
One of those
swap.
two.
No
Yeah.
fucking way.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I hear it's bad.
I'm sure.
I'm
Was she's
guessing
all
I'm
that
gonna
based
watch
on-
it at some point.
Was she's all that based on
Cinderella.
Twelfth Night Shakespeare by any chance?
Possibly.
We don't talk about
Or
Shakespeare.
Pygmalion
Fuck you.
would be probably my suspicion.
Anyway, they kiss,
anyway.
and then the shot with the camera with the cameras going around them, and they're also spinning, and it like happens for
it
a
made
long
me
time.
barf
It
a
does
little
happen
bit.
for a long time.
Everybody
I barfed a little
vomited in this apartment.
and then there's the really cool shot where they're
very
going
cool
around
shot.
collecting the
The
ballots
ballots. It's
and
all one
swapping
take.
them out.
It was an entire day of shooting.
Mm-hmm.
It almost got Brian DePalma fired.
Tell us more.
It just took too long. Like, the studio was like, what? You're still shooting the same fucking scene? Yeah, they weren't too happy.
Yeah.
That day went over. But it is a beautiful shot. I mean, it starts on Carrie and Tommy at their table, and then the ballots...
And they're, like,
their
voting for
ballots picked up,
themselves.
They vote for themselves, and then the ballots are all collected, and then the swap happens between PJ Souls and her boyfriend, and then the old ballots get shoved under the curtain, and then the camera moves down the stage, and you see Nancy Allen and John Travolta under the stage, and Nancy Allen doing her weird like eye shifting
That was hot.
and lip
That was.
licking.
Did you just say that was hot?
That was hot.
And then it goes to Amy Irving, Sue,
You have problems.
who's right around the stage, who's kind of just watching. Like she's
excited.
Yeah,
She's
Sue.
excited.
like my
Sue's-
plan is going to come.
they
through.
both have different plans, right? And you don't know that. You think maybe it's the same plan.
But it's annoying.
But then she notices the rope, and well, now she doesn't notice the rope yet, but
Until
the
after
camera
they're
notices the
announced.
rope, so
And
we notice the
everything's
rope,
in
and
slow
it goes
motion at
up.
this point.
Not yet. But the camera goes up, and you see the rope is connected to the bucket,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh shit! And then that great shot from the bucket angle, where
Back to
you
the
see
table.
back to Tommy and Carrie at the table,
and
and
they
then
won.
cut to them close up at the table. It's like, ugh! It's
And they
like
win.
perfection, and they win,
and they win King and Queen of the prom
the prom
of the 70s.
Yeah.
Of
and-
Love Among the Stars.
Yes, they won stars, and then they go up, and this is when the slow motion
This
starts.
is when the slow motion starts.
and
Yep.
like John Travolta and Nancy Allen are arguing with one another. He hits her again. Or
No,
she
Chris
hits him.
slaps him.
She hits him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
And-
She slaps
and
him
A little
right in the face.
retribution there.
And the
In slow mo. Like,
Right.
it's sick. It's dope.
and it's like it's causing the rope to jiggle.
Yeah.
And causing the bucket to kind of jiggle a little bit. But then the time comes, the iconic horror moment. The bucket spills all over Carrie. I guess it's good that she stood there.
It's probably about 48
Yeah.
ounces of blood. It's not enough blood.
Right, but it covers her.
It does.
They're
it
gonna
does the
gobble at
trick.
you. Blah, 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 blah.
It does the trick.
And so she starts freaking out. She thinks everybody's laughing at her. PJ Souls is the first person to laugh.
She is.
And
Is
then,
that Rainbow Hat?
yes.
Yeah.
And then there's one of the goofus friends of Tommy's
Ballad
laughs.
Boy?
I thought it was.
fake tux guy.
I think it's fake tux guy.
T-shirt. Yeah.
Tux t-shirt. Yeah.
We didn't talk about that, so we don't know who the fake tux guy is.
I feel
Anyway.
like if you rewind and slow it down, we definitely talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Just don't
then-
play it in reverse, people.
Yeah. Woof. Open up the gates of hell. Anyway, so then, so she, while she's like having her freak out and her eyes are like jutting around, it's creepy as fuck.
I love that.
The bucket falls and knocks Tommy out.
Yeah,
him.
and Tommy like
Does not
has
kill him.
there's a moment where
Kills him.
Tommy is like
You
it
said in
does.
the book it kills him.
It kills him,
Yeah.
just the bucket. And in the book, they have like 2 buckets, and they sound like really big fucking buckets. They describe it really well. Like I think they had to kill 2 pigs
Oh,
to get
Jesus.
all the blood. But I
That's a
could
lot
be
of-
wrong.
that's a
I
lot of
could be
pigs.
wrong, gentle audience. But they like there's a moment where before Tommy gets hit in the head with the bucket, you see him in slow mo, like kind of yelling or like
Yeah, he's like,
chastising
"What the
people."
fuck?" Basically, is what he's saying. Yeah, it's like, "What the hell is this?" And
I
Yeah.
like that because that's needed, right?
Yes.
Because you've already discovered at that point that
Sue is trying to
not
stop
in on
it,
because
but we-
she's trying to stop it. Right.
Right, the gym teacher dragged her out, threw
Saved
her
her
out the
life.
doors, and closed the doors.
Saved her life, yeah.
Saved her life, and then Tommy was like, "What the hell, guys? What is this?" Yeah.
And that's when he gets hit by
He
the
gets
bucket.
hit by the bucket.
He gets beamed, and now the gym teacher and a couple of other people are trying to take him off stage and take him out to get help.
And we have like the split screen.
Yep.
of the
Yep.
two-
This goes split screen. Yep.
And the first thing she does is she locks all the doors.
Yes.
somebody is able to open the doors, but they get squished by them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she turns on the hose and sprays the hose everywhere.
And I want to talk about this because in the book, Carrie was like she slammed the doors closed to prevent anybody from getting out, but there was like a set of doors that like several people got out through. It wasn't just one person. And in the book, all she wanted to do was like humiliate them. Like she wanted to ruin their like clothes or something. Like she was just
But the
wanting
lights
to
fell
spray
down.
them with water. Like she turned on the sprinkler system just to like be like, fuck you guys, just to kind of humiliate them.
Give
like-
them back what they gave her.
Yes, and her intention was definitely not like the fire hose. Well, it looks quite goofy,
It does a little bit.
but and then you think about, I don't know, just kind of like the ramification or like the implications of the fire hose, especially with Norma, Rainbow Hat Girl, like appearing to be killed by just the fire hose.
It
like-
looks like she got drowned by it being.
I'm guessing it got
blown
shot
up
up her nose and mouth.
right,
to
but
kill her,
like,
but-
and I don't. She didn't die like that in the. In the
So
book, but-
everyone gets electrocuted and then the place lights on fire, right? And it's all accidental.
Yes and yes, but it's at a certain point after
I'm
the
boiling
fire
it down
hose,
a little bit.
like the electrocution part is definitely an accident, but Carrie never opens the doors, right? So she's like, she could have
She could have saved people, but
stopped
she didn't.
it,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
at a certain point, she starts seeing people die in really ugly ways, and she's kind of like, they deserve it.
Well, we've started this fucking
Right,
train
here
rolling.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't really explicitly give you that moment with her. She goes straight to 60 in the movie.
Right, with
Right.
the
There's
fire
no ramp
hose.
up.
Yeah.
But it looks like she's trying to kill people.
Oh, she literally sees red, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Well, everything was, yeah, she turns on the red light.
yeah.
And-
Roxanne.
yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah, okay. You don't have to turn on the red light.
Yep.
I thought someone would
did
say
have
it, but they
to,
go,
but she did.
But two people do escape, but not for long.
Yes. So,
Oh yeah, I also didn't like that.
I
John
love it.
Travolta and
For the movie, I love it.
Yeah, John Travolta
It
and
is.
Chris
It's
leave.
very straight and to the point.
Yeah, and so they're
They
driving
deserve
down
their
the
own
street.
special death.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. And
Yeah, so they're driving down the street. Chris is driving, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Chris is going to run her the
She
fuck
is.
down.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've been watching from outside through the window
Yeah.
and seeing her kill everyone. Yeah.
So they're going to basically, kill her, but Carrie's wise to it. She just turns her head, and that
well, the way
fucks them up.
I love that. I
Sends
love that.
the car and explodes.
I love that zoom shot with the cut frames,
Yeah,
Right.
the jump cuts.
the jump cuts. It looks so cool. It's like 3 jump cuts.
I kind of feel like these days you'd get that scene where she'd turn around and stop the car and the front end would crash in
Yeah,
and they'd
totally.
fly out the windows.
Totally.
Like that would be the kind of death they deserve. But
I like
this
an
is what you
exploding
can
This
car.
is
this is what
super
you
dope.
can do in the 70s and it was
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, the
was
car is amazing. The car catching on fire is amazing.
That's a
but
cool stunt too. How they do that. It's like a peg in the bottom of the car that just pops,
It just pops up,
and then
right?
it goes
Really?
and it hits the car.
If
Yeah.
you want to see that in action, watch the movie The Island. They leave all that shit in.
You could see it
You
happen.
can see it happening.
Nice.
It, like the car flips over, but it flips
It's
to
like,
peg
it's
still
like
sitting
it's like
there.
a
It goes-
telephone pole in the car.
right, and
Yeah.
it goes this way around instead of
yes, this and that way,
Right, and
gentle
it's like
listener.
Jeff is showing his hands again.
basically. It goes, God damn it! I'm explaining it too. I'm trying to figure out. Like basically, it goes 360 degrees, and it's like, oh yeah, there's
the wrong direction.
There's the contraption.
There's the contraption sticking
That's
out of the
fun.
bottom of the car.
That's fun.
Now, I
I
know
love it.
y'all were staring at the car burning on fire, but I also really love how Carrie's walking down the road and her palms are down. but like
Yep.
parallel to the road.
Yeah.
And the way she turns her body to look around at the car, like it's not just like a quintessential, like, modern, like snap around where her neck just turns.
Yeah.
It's almost like the top half, like she turns almost at the waist.
Mm-hmm.
And her
Yeah.
hands are still parallel to the ground, and she's kind of crouched down a little
It
bit.
looks
and
very
it's just like,
Japanese to me, actually.
yes, like I was thinking, it looks like the girl from The Ring,
Yeah.
or like,
Yeah.
It's what the cosplayer at whorehound got so right because she had the palms down
she walked slowly around, and it was like stalking
and
people
pivoted
and
like that. Yeah, it was
that weird like
sexy.
just the way she
it was.
It was.
I mean,
we
you have a girl in a slip covered in blood. I mean, what are you gonna
Boy,
do?
these are all things
what's
I like.
wrong with
Well, you know that
here?
the first comes the blood.
Then comes the boys.
Yeah, so that you should understand
That's
all
true,
this.
yeah.
My menstruation brings all the boys to the yard.
So yeah,
perfect.
So she goes home, realizes, hey, I'm covered in blood. Meanwhile, her mom's
She didn't know that before now. Yeah.
But so her mom is like hiding behind the bathroom door. That's
Yeah, and like I love the shot of Carrie walking in, and just all the candles in her house, and it's like, what the fuck has her mom been doing? Because she lit all these candles. She's standing behind the bathroom door
and it's
silently,
right,
and then
and it's,
Carrie takes a bath, and that's got to take a long ass time to wash
she's
off all
taking-
that
but it's
blood.
lava
It's really
soap.
funny
I mean,
it's really funny you mentioned that because Jack Fisk, the production designer, was like, we really wanted to like light this whole thing up with candles and everything, but we were worried. It was like, are people going to be like, is that going to take them out of it? Are they going to think like that's a lot of candles? She lit all
It's
those
a lot
candles.
of fucking candles.
But we decided in the end that people would be so caught up with what's happening that they wouldn't notice all the candles and wouldn't question it. But everybody questions it.
Also, yeah, I mean, she lit all the candles and stood behind that door
right. And what I like about that
for
shot
how
of her
fucking long.
behind
he was
the
like,
door,
he was like, she probably goes to church and steals a candle every time she goes to church, so she's got them all in the basement.
They're all-
that was his rationale.
They're all white and green and red. And I'm sorry, but if you go back like 45 minutes or some shit, there's like after Carrie left for prom, there's a shot of her mom just like chopping carrots
yeah.
or like a single carrot.
should have been candles.
Yeah, and then it's like where'd she? So she's just chopping carrots and lighting candles.
chopping carrots and lighting candles.
That's it.
Strange.
Kernels?
Candles.
Well, what does mommy say? Carrie goes. She gets cleaned up. She looks for her mother. She's like, "Mama, hold me." Mama.
They all
says-
laughed at me.
They all laughed at me. She's like, "Let's pray together
For the last time.
for the last time."
This breaks
yeah.
my heart. Like Carrie's going to her mom for comfort. Like it echoes like her like going to the gym teacher for comfort. Like after the gym teacher slapped her at the beginning. Like
Yeah.
And then she
She's-
killed the gym teacher, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just saying.
I just
gym teacher
feel-
got killed.
I mean, yeah, I just feel bad for Carrie.
She's like aborting her child 18 years later.
Well,
In
she
this one.
says, I should have given you
Yep.
to
I
God.
should have.
Should
Yeah,
have given you to God when you were born.
Yes,
Yep.
so she should have killed her
Yep.
18, 17, whatever.
But see, the
Many
problem
years
was
ago.
that Chief went back to the hospital and the other guy got out. That
Yeah.
was the problem.
So she
Okay.
stabs her
Oh.
in the back while she's
I get
hugging
it.
her daughter. It's like, oh.
yes.
And Carrie falls down the stairs.
And she has blood on her again after she just washed all that fucking blood off.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. But she decides she's had enough of mom.
Yep.
And so she crucifies her
Yeah.
with,
With knives.
knives
With
and butter
anything in
knives.
her
Butter
house that
knives.
can impale somebody.
And a potato peeler.
Spatulas.
A potato peeler.
Yeah. And,
Um,
it replicates, as we mentioned earlier, the Saint Sebastian statue that she had in her closet for her whole
and
life, probably.
She dies
Yeah.
smiling.
And then she drags her mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, her mother like,
dies in like writhing ecstasy, like she's
Yes.
orgasming to death as
She
she's been
orgasms
martyred,
a lot at the end
as,
of this.
as she's been
Mhm.
being martyred by her daughter, who she believes is the devil.
Ew.
Yeah,
But then something starts to, like, she hears something upstairs and it's like, uh-oh, the whole place is falling apart.
Yeah.
yeah,
She let all of her power out.
yeah. She's out of control.
And
Yeah.
then, so she yanks her mom off the wall there and into the closet where they die in the closet.
Buried
Yeah,
as a
and
whole.
the house
whole
like
house
explodes
collapsed.
too. Like the house catches on fire. Like there's a lot of candles, but like that's a little bit much. And also,
It also like sinks into the ground.
so at the beginning of this, I was
Kinda like
talking about
poltergeist.
the dirty pillows, how that came about in the book, and how the chick was laying out with her boobs out. And Carrie went over there when she was like 3, and her mom found her, and her mom like screamed at her in the book. And then this is why the whites were like pariahs in the community, was that the stones fell on their home when Carrie was like 3 or 5 or something like that. And the whole community was like, what the fuck was that? It only fell and they were ice. It was like big ass.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
ice.
like hail?
Like hail, but
Yeah.
boulder hail.
Huh.
So
Did
that's,
she bring it down on them? Is
yeah,
that ever
she brought it
explored?
down because her mom got so mad
Huh.
about like Carrie went over and saw this chick's boobs and the girl was like, hey, they're
So that
breasts. We all have breasts. Like,
Yeah.
Which ties back to her saying, we all have breasts.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then this, like them trying to do the stone thing, trying being the key word. Jason, you said something earlier about how they fucked this up.
They
or-
tried to shoot the stones coming down and
Destroying
destroying
the
the house, but they couldn't get the effect to work. They couldn't get the machine to make it look believable. But they had already shot the interior shots.
So this
of
is
stones
believable,
coming in,
people.
right?
Yeah.
I just feel like the end of the movie like disappoints me as a book reader, as any Stephen King movie does. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm always
It's not a great
disappointed.
ending. I don't love the ending.
I kind of like this scene after this, but
It's what it's known for.
the
yeah.
scene after,
Yeah.
it's very like Nightmare on Elm Street.
It is kind of.
Well,
yeah.
I want to talk about that.
So basically we think the movie's over with Carrie and her mother dead in the closet with the scary martyr guy. And scary martyr guy.
Scary martyr.
Sebastian.
Scary martyr guy. That's his name now. But then it goes to Sue's house and her mother gets a phone call and it's somebody that she knows. She's like, oh, thank God. I thought it was going to be another reporter. Sue's here. She's going to be fine. The doctor says she's young enough that she won't probably remember much of it. That
Garbage.
ain't a great doctor.
No,
No.
Fire that guy.
she's not that young either.
No. Yeah, she's at least, she's played by somebody at least in her 20s.
She's a senior in
She's a
fucking
senior in
high school.
Yeah.
I
What
don't remember
doctor?
any of my senior year.
I mean, I
None
was
of
on
it.
a.
What happened to those
It
years
had
of my life?
absolutely nothing to do with shaping the rest of your life at all.
Nope,
Right.
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well,
So
it did,
then-
but I'm completely unaware of
Unaware
how.
of why or how.
Yeah.
So then it transitions into like this kind of misty thing where you can see a car driving backwards down the street.
Yep.
So it was all filmed backwards, and
Yep.
so it's all very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it
Do you
doesn't
think-
feel
did
real.
Did they leave that in purpose?
Yeah.
On purpose, the car going back.
Yeah, it's to let you know it's a dream sequence.
Yep.
Yeah. And she approaches the now empty lot that the White's house sat on, where the house foundation was, is just a
looks-
bunch of black rocks.
It looks like charcoal.
It does.
It looks like it burned.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a cross sticking out of it that says for sale. And then somebody wrote that Carrie White burns in hell.
Yeah.
And with an arrow pointing down. And so she puts, she's going to go up to put flowers on it. And Carrie's hand, bloody hand, comes out and grabs her. At the same time, she's starting to freak out in real life and her mom's grabbing her. And it cuts back and forth between like a waking dream.
It is very Nightmare on Elm Streety.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So about that, Friday the 13th. That was, I want to say it was Sean Cunningham who said that the ending of Friday the 13th was directly influenced by the end of Carrie because they felt like they had to do the Carrie stinger.
The stinger.
Yeah.
And that ultimately
Oh,
then,
really?
but then
Yeah.
that ultimately became
love
like
that.
at every horror movie had to do a stinger, right?
Right.
So
Was Carrie the first then?
well, that's what I thought. It wasn't.
Huh.
Carrie, Brian DePalma stole that shot from the ending of Deliverance.
Oh.
The ending of
What?
Deliverance ends with, I forget which character, but he wakes up in cold sweats in a dream from being woken up by a hand coming out of the water. Right? And that's the ending of Deliverance. And Brian De Palma he loves the movie Deliverance. He was like, that was like the
That's
perfect ending,
weird.
the perfect like scary like last.
That's the movie that
Image.
broke John Borman.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, we stole it from Deliverance.
It's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a good.
But
ending.
that's not a horror movie, though.
No,
really.
but-
not in the same
but-
way as a thriller.
but everybody was like, yeah, we got to do the Carrie thing.
Yeah.
But Carrie stole it from Deliverance.
And going way back in our history, that's how Student Bodies ends.
Oh yeah,
So I have to say, because we talked about this early on, like Stephen King translation to film, I think this does a really good job where most fail because Stephen King's books are driven by inner monologue, right?
Yes.
And you cannot, unless you have a voiceover in a movie, do inner monologue, right?
Right.
So they cut down on whatever everyone is thinking, right? Because a lot of movies try to show you that.
Yeah.
Like in Stephen King films, and you're like, oh my God, what are they doing here?
Yeah.
So I like how simplistic this is in telling its story and taking out the internal monologue, because you can't show that in a really meaningful way. So it makes a lot of the characters a little too simple, but it also takes out what would be complicated in the telling.
It's why I think it's tough, because the good Stephen King adaptations are still ones where, if you've read the book, you're kind of like, like you've demonstrated this whole episode, Kelsey, is that I miss a lot of these things from the book.
But this is still good.
But it's still good. It's a good movie, and taken on its own, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where your Chuck's right, where they try to placate the novel too much is where they usually do fail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or they just change shit. I mean, this is like pretty on the, it stays on topic. It follows the plot. It like this one, and I feel like Dr. Sleep did a good job of
Dr. Sleep is awesome.
Yeah,
but
staying
King
along
wrote
the
that
plot.
in a way that it could be made into a
he
movie.
knew. Yeah.
He's done a better job in his... it makes his books less interesting to me these days.
His style has changed.
Because they are more Hollywood written.
Right.
They're more able to be
and I think
movie.
a lot of that too is he's just... Stephen King watches a lot of movies, so that's influenced his story structure.
Yeah.
There
Where he's much older now than he was in fucking 1970 or whatever.
Yeah, and he's not on cocaine.
Yes.
That helps usually.
There's not a DVD box that he to a shitty movie that he won't stick some sort of a pull quote on.
Right.
But this is definitely up there, and it's interesting that it's the first adaptation.
Yes.
Is nearly at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think it's the best.
Well, here's an interesting
It's not the best,
thing.
but it's good.
Yeah.
We have now covered his first 3 books and movies.
Which are... Wait, you did Salem's Lot and The Shining?
The Shining.
And you did Stanley Kubrick's The Shining?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, that was that was back.
Was
way
that
back.
episode 50?
50.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they have that many episodes, gentle listener?
We're coming up on
almost
200.
Yeah, this is episode 193.
And you haven't listened to
Who
one.
listens to I'm not going back and
Neither
starting.
has my wife.
You don't have to.
I'm not
You don't have to
starting.
start at like 78. That's when I joined.
Chuck is my
78,
favorite.
that's a new
I
one?
am your favorite.
Chuck is
I don't
my
know.
favorite
It was
in this
somewhere in
room.
the 70s.
That's funny. Somewhere in the 70s. That's
I tried to
appropriate.
make a joke. I don't
Was it
know what the
Italian
number is.
also?
It was around the time we did the trip to Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went to Italy?
Yeah. Not
Yeah,
not
we went
literally.
to Italy and we did episodes from Italy.
We
Do you
watched
think
a
your
bunch of it
listeners
from
like
a
listening
cafe.
to this?
We watched
Gentle
a-
listener.
Yeah, we watched a
Do you
bunch.
guys have like an
From
email
the, From
address?
the plaza.
Yes.
What's
Yeah.
the email address?
Guess.
filmseizure@gmail.com. Or
we
one day
really
we want
wanted
Gmail at
that-
filmseizure.com.
I said that once, and I was like, wait, that's not it.
Gentle
One
listener.
We
day.
also have a website and a place where people can listen to these episodes. We also have a Twitter. What else do we have? We have
How many
also-
followers do you have?
Facebook and
5?
an Instagram.
We have a Facebook and an Instagram. You can download our episodes at YouTube. You can listen to us wherever podcasts are found.
I don't think they're on
Wherever podcasts are
Spotify.
found.
Are you on Spotify?
Well, yes, we
I
are
couldn't
on
find you.
Spotify.
We are
Well,
on
you didn't
Spotify.
look
You didn't
hard.
look
I
hard
didn't
enough.
look at all.
You didn't look hard enough. But all I want to know from Jeff is, what do you have coming up on Monster Mondays?
Oh boy! So this Monday is The Devil Rides Out. That's a
Oh,
That's an
fun.
awesome movie.
That's fun. I need
it
to
is
give
a
that back to you. I still have your
crazy,
copy.
crazy movie. Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's crazy.
That's this upcoming Monday.
What about Friday?
So, well, actually, both. Monster Mondays and Film Seizure, all those places that Chuck said for you to go to, that's where you go and do that. This Friday at my website,
bmovieenema.com.
.com, it's the continuation of Resident Evil sequel month.
Oh, God.
Resident Evil Afterlife. That movie's not great.
Should they have called it Afterbirth?
It should have been called Throw This Script in the Can.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're not doing
the,
this.
The Rage.
The shit.
We covered that movie.
Oh, God, yes. But not the Carrie one.
Not the one you think. Yeah.
No, not the one you think. And this Saturday on B Movie Enema, the series, it's Scream, Blackula, Scream.
Nice. Beautiful.
I got excited. I thought you were covering Scream like we just did next week.
No, but that's next week.
Wait.
Yeah. Film Seizure
Yeah, I know.
is Scream.
Yeah.
That's a single name of a movie?
Scream, Blackula,
listen
Scream.
to me take down the entire set of Film Seizure.
Yeah.
by doing something stupid.
Yeah.
Which, of course, that's what you would do. You would do something stupid.
Yeah, I would.
Well, not you, but yeah, that's how you would bring down
The
an entire
royal
set.
you.
By doing something stupid.
Right.
Yes.
That is, yeah.
That's
But next
generally what
Wednesday,
happens.
Film Seizure.
Yes. Scream.
Scream.
One
of Chuck's favorite movies
ever.
It is one of my favorite movies ever. After that, is that the last week?
No, of course not.
We have a couple more weeks of stuff.
Halloween 3 comes after Scream.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sure is.
And then we got better movies next month.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not many better than Scream, but
Man,
okay.
Clockwork Orange would
You'll
say
find out
otherwise.
next week how much I love that movie. So
yeah. Hey.
my name's Chuck Moore.
Well, wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Kelsey, for being on
No,
the
no,
show.
no, no.
No, fuck off.
Thank you, Kelsey, sincerely for being here and
Yeah, thanks,
adding
Kelsey.
your wisdom of Stephen King and Carrie.
We need to
and
find out
stuff.
what the fourth King book and movie are, and we can fill the gap to Dead Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then you can do that too if you want.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thanks.
I'm happy to
Wonder
be
what it
here.
is.
Wait,
Actually.
Christine is probably.
We've probably already done it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've done
Yeah.
Christine, but
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah, well, thank you. And when we do another Stephen King, we'll
bring
drag
it
you
along.
back out.
I'll think about it.
Maybe we'll
Yes.
do Maximum Overdrive.
No,
I have not. I've not seen that one. So
that one sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do Firestarter instead.
Ooh, all right.
Anyway.
Firestarter is a good book.
Yeah. So, all right. Anyway, I'm Jeff Arbuckle.
I'm Chuck Moore.
Hi, I'm Jason Oliver, and you have been listening to Film Seizure.